So, okay, we are live with the current stream that you're not watching because you probably are clicked on one of the 3 broken streams.
Yeah, go to the cartoony one.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, go to the cartoony one. I'm gonna go nuke the other streams and force them out so that they'll go look for the right one. Go to YouTube too. Hey, this is just part of streaming, man. Part of streaming is just screwing up literally every single weekend. To our credit, though, we did miss like 2 shows, so it's like we got to warm up and learn how to do.
Oh, I know, right?
It's like when you miss 1 show, it's a little bit hard. You miss like 5 shows, it gets a little bit. Whoa, yeah, we have three streams right now that are all like non-functional and should not be working.
That's so weird.
Okay, delete forever. Yes, I understand the deleting forever. I understand. Okay, I'm deleting that one forever. Now I'm deleting this one. I'm kicking people out of every one of these. Delete forever. Yes, I understand. Delete forever. And watch as I'm deleting them. They're probably going to the next one that's about to be deleted.
Stream. Yeah.
Yep. I had 3. There was 3 in there. 1 with the right icon and 2 with the wrong icon. Okay.
Weird.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay.
I think we're
now it should be the Sam Altman fired. Does everybody come on over?
Yep, I think so. It looks like it says like 40 watching ish, and then
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay,
we're good. We're good.
All right, so it says okay, to get started, start streaming on your streaming software. I am doing that. So what is step 2? Profit? Select stream.
Sure.
No current live streams are running. If you don't see your stream, try refreshing. Okay, refresh.
Yeah, I'm pretty refreshing.
Refresh. Are you pretty refreshing?
I like to think
so YouTube, okay, so I am running the latest version of OBS Studio. It's version 30.
As
you can believe, like 30. Wow. you don't see a lot of programs make it up to version 30.
Yeah.
Honestly. So kudos to OBS for doing that. It looks like they added a bunch of new dashboard stuff right into OBS, like chat, and YouTube live control panel now has like its own panel embedded into OBS.
Nice.
But I can tell you right now, none of it is working.
Bogus.
Chat, because like right now it says we're back at Tech Talk. No, it went to the wrong one again. No, don't worry. You guys are in the right spot. You guys are in the right spot. For some reason, when I went into OBS and they said open the stream that we're currently streaming to, it thinks we're streaming to the wrong one. So I'm going to correct that and click the right one.
You have to send David the link somewhere else. He's not on the X anymore, remember?
Oh, I thought he still had an account and he could log in.
I mean, I'm sure that, but I'm like,
all right, let me find a way to get it to him without leaking it to everybody else. I don't even know, is he on Signal? I don't remember if he was or not. Let me double check. He might be. Yeah, because David's going to join us for a little while. All right, let's go to Zaina messages. Try not to leak his phone number to the world. Let's hear it, David.
Oh, it's in the group chat, David. Oh,
what group chat?
Oh,
is
no,
he on Signal group chat?
I thought you put the video link in the Twitter group chat, and it's not in there.
No, I did. It's not there. Hold on, let me go look again. I may have clicked the wrong thing. So
it was right after I said Slackers. It is there.
Okay, he can't. Okay, he just missed it. Let me move it down to the bottom. So copy. Let's hear. Copy link. I'm gonna repost it again, Mr. David, to make it easy for you to find. There it is, and then the password. Okay.
Which is not Jerry's Big Wangus 69 XX 69.
Okay, let's see. Is this can you see it now, David? All right, let me keep an eye on the other one. Okay, so I got my dashboard. Let me pull my dashboard over here so I don't accidentally close it like I did last stream. All right. Let's hear. David Hewlett says still on, but there wasn't a link. Put it on Twitter. Yeah, okay. It's in Twitter in the group DM chat. So the group DM chat.
I'm actually on the chat now.
Oh, there he is. Woo! Woo! Drop it on one in. What's up, dog?
Just drop it in.
Long time no surprise. All right, let me get you. Let me get you into the lineup here.
Forever.
It's been a long time.
It has been.
Been a long time.
Been a long time. Okay, so
and yet you all look younger and fresher than ever.
Oh no way! I feel man. The first 2-3 days of this week, I had like a nasty flu or something. It was.
Oh god, yeah.
And
oh god,
still fuzzy, a little fuzzy, But
'tis the season.
Yeah,
everybody's been getting sick. My buddy who's in prison right now, my pen pal. Yeah, that's right. I have a lawbreaker friend.
I know some bad people
I've been
too.
sending him messages and haven't gotten any reply back from him in like 2 weeks. And if you know anybody who's in the pen, like you send them a message, they reply back ASAP. Like they ain't got
Yeah.
shit to do in there. It's like you got their full attention for their entire sentence. And I hadn't heard from him for like 2 weeks, and I found out that he got the big C.
Oh damn.
And the place is like in lockdown, and it just a bunch of crap's going on. So that's why he hasn't been able to respond yet. But he's otherwise doing okay.
Dang.
But yeah, he said
What did
there
he go in
like
for?
he was running from police officers in a low speed pursuit. They pit maneuvered him at 10 miles an hour, suck a dog on him, and now he's in jail for 18 years. Even though nobody got hurt. He was the only one that got hurt. Like he got severe dog bites, but nobody else got hurt in the entire thing. And the speed at which
I can't imagine anything worse than being attacked by a police dog.
Yeah,
seriously.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Horrible.
That's like an early man fear. That's like that's like a cave dwelling fear, you know.
Yeah, no, it's like getting attacked by a like a crocodile or something, just a bite strength, right? It's like you look at all those animals that they can snap like a stick in half and like a broomstick. And I've seen videos where they take those attack dogs and they put up a broomstick and it'll break a broomstick in half. And you're like, a broomstick is supposed to be a good analog for a human bone. So it's like, oh damn, I didn't realize these little dogs were petting and kissing on and giving treats and shit could kill us in our sleep.
But, God, yeah. Zav did a hole punch on my sister's dog the other day. Just literally the dog, this little tiny chihuahua went for Zaw's face, and she just went, just picked it up, like just literally just put it in her mouth. By the time we got it out, it's got like 2 hole punches. Like just yeah.
David, are you using a Razer Kaio webcam?
I am using a Razer Kaio.
Where did you get one of those there, sir? I have one too. I didn't know anybody else had one.
I had it for years. I got, as soon as it came out, I was like, I want one that has a ring light built in, and it's useless. I never use the ring light.
Not only is the ring light useless, but the video quality sucks unless you have a ton of light, unless it's the light from it. If you use the light that's on it, it actually lights you really terribly. But if you use a lot of light in the room or professional lights, then it looks okay. So it's
interesting. Yeah, I want to go back to the Logitech C, whatever they were. Those were the ones.
Oh, C920.
C920s.
Yeah, they were fantastic. I still have like 2 or 3 of those ones, but
same.
Yeah, the C920.
But I'm moving. But the biggest issue I've got now, which one is
the C920? That was the OG, right?
That's great.
Oh my God,
that's like the standard. Let me see. Why am I?
I've just been having to move so much.
Oh
I'm doing a lot of like I'm either in the garage or I'm out here or I'm in this room or I'm in that room, and so I'm constantly just trying to figure out how to not go through the nightmare of trying to the audio. I screw up the audio every single time. It's driving me nuts. I keep trying to do like a stream with Lance with Gimpy G, and I keep bailing because I'm just like, I give up. I just can't get it to work. So I think I've got it now.
Stop fiddling.
Although as I say that,
exactly. You got Jerry's problem. Stop touching stuff.
Don't Jerry it. Do not.
You guys are gonna be quick, man. Give me a phobia.
Serious. Hey, man, the weirdest part of my whole setup is that I have this cheese ball. Well, the KVM is actually a nice KVM, but then I have to, because my work NUC, like won't power on anymore, and they won't give me a new one. So I have my laptop, which I need to dock for, which is like a USB-C Thunderbolt dock, but then the dock's plugged into the KVM, and one of my monitors doesn't work with the freaking dock, and so that's like my only weird thing.
You have a work NUC? Like not a laptop and a NUC?
I did.
Weird.
I mean, I still have it.
The NUC seems like such a great idea.
Dude, they're awesome, and I'm really glad Asus is going to keep making them, even though Intel isn't. They're stopping, but they're like the platform still exists, and so like third parties can still make them, and I think Asus is going to keep pumping out versions for a little while.
Those little Mac, whatever they're called, they look great. They're a fraction of that size, and they got major
like the
power.
Mac Mini.
I'm thinking about I'm debating that
stuff.
myself.
Yeah.
This was great. I gotta say, I'm loving the ARM chips. Just loving them. I can't get over how fast this thing processes video and audio. And
that's pretty cool.
What ARM chip are you on? Are you talking like a Mac?
Like M2.
M1 or M2?
Yeah, the Mac, the M2. Yeah, I think it's
dude, that's ARM on steroids though. Like a traditional ARM chip isn't all that fast, but for some reason, like Apple was like, "Oh, let's slap some x86 instructions on this bad boy," and now it's just a screaming eagle. Like I
was
cannot
so
believe
skeptical.
the performance.
Like I've owned Power PCs, 86 versions of Macs. I've gone through I've got OS 9, OS X.
Yep.
I've been burned by. I have a freaking Newton, for God's sake. I've
Oh,
been
that's
burned
rad.
by everything Apple. I mean, I'm so reticent to buy anything from Apple that isn't going to last forever. But I do honestly, the laptops, they're like bulletproof. They're just like, I mean, touch wood. It's just they're brain dead. I love having a PC because then I could do.
Hey, what's
fun
up,
stuff with
PhysX?
it. But the Mac, the
No,
Mac is just a lot of fun,
so check this out. So the M1 and the M2, I feel like Apple shot themselves in the foot because apparently the M3 that just got announced is like not enough more performance that people are thinking about upgrading.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people are thinking about holding
Yeah,
on
I
because the M2 is still considered like stupid fast. Like
Yeah,
the
they're really
pacing
good.
at which the technology came out. Man, I watched a YouTube video of a guy, no shit, on like the little one, not even the expensive one, because they have like the Pro and then they have like the
Stick
cheaper
boy.
one, right?
Yeah.
Like the Air or whatever.
Mm.
He was sitting there editing 8K raw footage, 8K raw footage from a freaking, or no, it was what is it, ProRes? What's the codec that Apple uses?
That's-
Like the one,
Yeah.
ProRes.
Yeah.
So he's recording ProRes at like 8K on his video device, and then he plugs it into the freaking laptop via USB-C or whatever, and he's editing the footage directly off the high-speed storage inside of the camera, and he's like scrubbing the timeline. I think he was using it wasn't After Effects. I think it was like iMovie or
It'd have to be like
Final Cut or
Pro
something. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's like the reason I use this setup is because
the only
no
way.
desktop computer. He's like I have a desktop editing rig with like 6 screens on it that has like these Titan graphics cards in them and stuff. And he's like, it's nothing like this little shitty laptop can scrub footage. Like
iPad,
it's real time.
The iPads can do it now. Because you got once they get the M2 chips in the iPads, we won't even need although I got to say, the form factor of a laptop just works better for me. I find.
I like an iPad with a keyboard, right? Like I wish there was a little bit of a transformer MacBook where like I can fold it backwards and then it's like a tablet and then I can still
that makes sense.
Because like I love
use that pencil. I love that pencil.
I love if I had just an extra like $1,200 or whatever, I'd totally throw down on like a newer iPad Pro with the cool Magic Keyboard thing that they've got. Because I have a gripe with that for my wife. It's a good experience. It's a good mobile computing experience. I really enjoy it. And that's coming from a guy who's a very staunch Windows Android-y guy. But
me too. I love
iPads. The iPad is amazing product all around.
It's hard to beat a tablet.
Yeah.
I can't think of another tablet that works anywhere near as well as the iPad does.
Well,
I got my friend, the guy who directed Cube. He only uses an iPad. He will not use a PC at all anymore. He's like, not even. I don't mean PC. I mean laptop, computer, nothing. He does all of his work on an iPad now.
That's cool. Wow.
That seems pretty typical. That people that they're either Mac or the PC, but I find it way less likely that Mac users go to PC. But I see a lot of PC users that also use Mac or will use a Mac, like me, for instance. I'll use an iPad and an iPhone, right? No problem. It's rare to find somebody who has like a Mac that uses Android shit. It's just something about the Mac experience, the way it's like put together throughout the whole ecosystem. People tend to stick with it. Right?
The walled garden of iMessage as well. That's the other thing.
In a sense,
I like making life. Hey, I make life hard on myself. Everything in my house is built a different brand, barely able to talk to each other. And in many cases, they don't talk to each other at all, and they have to use like intermediate translators and shit. It's like a whole house like in here.
I keep buying stuff. Yeah, and I always end up coming back to like, what's the simplest approach? I just need to come back. I'm becoming this kind of like Zen in the art of PC maintenance. I'm like, what is the simplest solution now? Forget the bells and whistles. I just want to be able to.
That sounds familiar. That sounds like
it should be, shouldn't it?
I know the Zen in the art of motorcycle maintenance, but if there's a PC flavor one, that'd be awesome.
Actually, that would be a good one. There you go. I should have. I'll get ChatGPT to write it up now.
I always had the thought when I seriously get back into PC building, I always wanted to do it in a Bob Ross sort of joy of PC building angle.
I can see you doing that. The opposite, I think it'd be great. Like the opposite. The hair would be here instead of
right. And then
I think something like that.
We're gonna have them run the parts along the bottom of the screen, and we've got our canvas, we've got our canvas here, so all set out with our parts laid out, our phase 0 mise en place.
You got to do that. That's like perfect. I would pay to watch that.
We're going to install our happy little CPU here and close down.
And you can do this thing with the bushes, but it's zip ties.
Yeah, yeah.
No, do zip ties. Do
Little
the
happy
Bob Ross
little
zip
zip
ties.
ties.
Yep,
Oh,
happy little zip ties. Oh,
this
put
zip tie
another
needs
one,
a friend.
Yep.
These cables here,
And
they
you
need
could-
to. They need
could,
a
like,
little
sign-
hug, a nice little hug.
You can sign the PC at the end.
Right at
Just
the
do a
end,
little-
yeah.
little stroke on the end.
Be like, there's never
man,
too many, like
I'm
with the
totally
clouds
up
and the
for that.
bushes.
Yeah, that's the image in my head I have for like my ongoing PC build
I feel
series.
like that would
And
be
like
Join
light
really
it like
PC7.
that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
you totally
solid
do that,
black
yeah.
and just like
Yeah.
a table in a
Yeah.
stark black expanse kind of thing. Yeah.
Hey, guys, I want to
No,
do
I
a
think
clap
that's-
sync
I
really
think
quick.
that's-
When I
yeah.
clap, I want you guys all to clap as soon as you hear my clap. All right. Okay, one more time.
Oh wow.
All right,
I'm-
that's the problem. I was
Yeah, I'm
wondering why
like-
we were talking
like
over
1,
each other
2,
so much.
3.
It's because it's like we're each delayed a second off from the next person, so it's like it's round
Oh,
robin.
sorry.
So I'll try to wait for silence, and then I'll give it like a full second of silence before I talk, and then hopefully that'll stop the crashes. Over.
I don't know if that's
Oh.
self-control.
Over.
Hey, Bubba the Man, thanks for the $5. Howdy, y'all. Hope the day is going well for yawns.
Pretty good. I
so
slept.
far.
Yeah, I slept 3 hours,
Little
man.
tired.
3 solid hours.
But
Is that
yeah.
it? Jesus.
Actually, it was only 2.5. Honestly, I went to bed at 6:35. I think was when I
Oof.
last looked at the clock, and then I woke up at 9. I think it was 9. So yeah, it wasn't.
And
it wasn't quite
what's
3
keeping you
hours.
up? What's the deal?
Just insomnia. I've been so I've taken Adderall for like 14 years for my ADHD, and then I ran out of it, and then we couldn't find it anywhere, and then the doctor couldn't prescribe it without seeing me
What?
again, but he didn't have an appointment for over a month, and you can only get it from your primary care doctor. They can't like send you to a different doctor to prescribe it. So I got stuck in the
Jesus.
situation where I basically just had to go off a cold turkey. So I've been cold
That's
turkey off
rough.
Adderall for 2 weeks. My wife just finally got a prescription and found a place that had some. And
Nice.
she's going to pick it up today. So hopefully things will be back to business as usual this
Wow.
afternoon. But yeah, life
It's like
life
holding on to a
without-
racing vehicle.
dude, like it's when you're on Adderall for that period of time, coming off of it like rapidly, because normally you're supposed to titrate off stuff like that slowly. Coming off Adderall like that, I was narcoleptic, dude. Like I couldn't even drive a car. I had to cancel appointments and drive places because I would literally sit in the car warming up the car and then just nod off, fall asleep, and wake up in a running car. And I was
Oh
like,
my
nope, turn the
God.
car off, go back in the house. I'm like, I'm not driving a car if I'm just like if I don't know the moment I'm drifting off, I should not be in a car. So
Wow.
it's been getting a little bit better over time. Again, you know, you will adjust eventually, but like to come off of Adderall for that period of time and get back to your same Jack Russell Terrier all over, bouncing all over the place, bullshit. I mean, it can take months. You know, it's not a really fast process for your body. And as you get older, it takes longer and longer and longer. So luckily we found a prescription though, so I should be back on my normal dose. Which even before this, I was not on my normal dose for like the last 3 months. Because I had
Why
to
did they
ration
run
it
out?
because I couldn't get because during the whole COVID-19 thing, they shut down production of it because it all comes from China. And so they shut down production of it, and there's such a huge demand. And then plus during COVID-19, because everybody was like laid off or fired or sitting home without a job and freaking out about life, suddenly everybody got diagnosed with ADHD. so it's like
Really?
the demand went up. Yeah, the demand went through that roof, like skyrocketed through the roof, especially since they can also use it to treat mild depression and things like that. So it went through the roof, and then the supply went down to almost nothing. And it was so bad that every time I'd go to the doctor, like seriously, for the last year, every time I've gone to the doctor to get a script filled, we have to go to a different place, and it's always got 2 or 3 different brands in one bottle. We can never even get one bottle of just like one brand of generic. It's always like oh, here's the green round ones, and here's the hexagon blue ones. And
No,
every
man,
time they
that's
tell you,
whack.
oh, they're the yeah, it is
No, because
each
they're
one of those
different.
act different. They are.
I've noticed like I have, so they give me an occasional thing of like 5 milligram ones, Adderalls, right?
Yep.
And like the little blue ones, these little kind of, I guess they're like oval shaped blue ones. They're different than say like, I think they had a set of like orange ones one time. And the same goes for even the XRs. Like right now I have a whole set of like orange ones. And then normally the ones that I've had for a long, long time were in a blue case. And the XRs don't seem to be much different, but that's probably because they're extended release and like that's fine. But definitely the solid punchy ones, they're definitely different. Yeah.
So here's the thing. I've taken both and I've had differences with both. So I've had one brand before which I can't get. Like I specifically have to tell them if it's this brand, you cannot give it to me because something in the filler gives me a bad headache. So like I take it and I just instantly get a pressure headache. It's like have you ever had a caffeine headache? Like it's like a caffeine headache times 10. And I got it, and I couldn't figure out where the hell it was coming from, but it was only when I was taking this one type. Yeah, do you guys have any decaf Adderall by chance?
I'm on decaf now. No, I've stopped the coffee. I for like 2 weeks had the worst headache.
So anybody will tell you if you can't get Adderall, the next best thing is caffeine, because caffeine it works very similar. It's just not as long lasting. It's like in your tank. So today, because I haven't had my Adderall, I'm of course sitting here rocking my 2 double shot mochas in 2 different cups. My wife's like, I couldn't find a big enough cup, so I just brought you your 2 cups so that we'll bring them all. The other.
Line them up.
Here I'm having to like pound the coffee. But the thing is I'm not I don't react to caffeine very well. Like I don't have a stimulant response to caffeine like most people. Like it'll help a little bit with staying awake, but like I could drink an entire carafe of coffee and then just go to sleep.
Damn.
Like the warmness of the coffee will outpace any caffeine. Like I don't get the jitters, I don't shake and freak. I just get tired and I go to sleep. And so the only time it really helps me is if it's early in the morning when I'm waking up and I'm just getting moving. Then it's like I'm engaged in something and I'm drinking the coffee, and then it seems to do something for me and helps me to stop chasing the squirrels. But yeah, if I drink coffee at night, no effect. What's that?
I find first cup's the most effective, and then my problem is I keep going and I just
it falls off.
If I could do that, so I do like tea in the morning, cup of coffee, and then I try to stay off it now because I found by the end of the day I'm just like I'm gnawing my own legs off. I mean, like I'm just
No, that's the problem is, and actually Adderall has a similar effect to it also, where it's like if you take like your full dose, like your morning dose XR, and then you take like a booster in the afternoon, which I rarely take the booster. But if you take the booster in the afternoon, then when it's like time to go to bed, you're like, you're shaky, you feel a little uneasy. Sometimes it can make you feel a little manic. And I don't like that. I don't like that feeling at all. So I usually just take the XR. The XR is just a lot smoother. It doesn't have that same rise and fall that the fast stuff does. Some people like the fast stuff. I'm not a big fan. The only thing the fast stuff's really helpful for is if you feel that you're coming down off the XR in the afternoon and say it's not time for the workday to end and you got a shitload more you need to get done, then you take the booster and it kind of just cancels out that effect of it falling off. But if you wait too long and you let it fall off too long and then you take the booster, then it like brings you up so fast that you feel all jittery and crap again. I don't like that. So it's all about
the
technology. Like timing.
The technology on the slow release ones are really interesting too. Just the way that the ingenious designs they have of the pills, the way that it's like it's like the liquid in your stomach fills the pill and then slowly pumps out the drugs and stuff.
Weird.
It's a really, really cool.
Yeah, they basically create these little micro beads. They're like these little micro beads, and each bead has a different dissolve rate, and the medicine is inside of the bead. So what happens is the capsule dissolves within 30 seconds of contacting the acid in your stomach, and then all these little beads just basically just flush out across your stomach and touch against the membrane and the side of your stomach and everything to get the absorption, right? And what it does, they just dissolve, but they dissolve at different rates. So it's like the first group dissolves, then the second group dissolves, then the third group dissolves, and then after 6 hours, the last group dissolves and releases the medication.
The ones I was reading about there's actually like a little hole in the pill, and as it absorbs water, it slowly releases like a sort of a trackable amount of the stuff as it goes through your system.
Be like a new thing. I've never had that. Is that that's probably like name brand Adderall? I've never had name brand Adderall. I've always had the bathtub stuff. Let's hear
I've seen some of those like that. They'll have like these tiny little lasered holes, and so that it like slowly leaks out over time. Yeah.
It's just using diffusion. I didn't know that was a thing. It's so smart. We're smart little devils and we're not killing each other,
right?
We're smart little devils, even when we are killing each other.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So okay, here, let's see here. Adderall XR is a medication used
that works similar to it's. I mean, to be not to put too fine a point on it, James. It's literally. I mean, I have my bottle of Adderall right here. It is literally dextroamphetamine. Like,
mine's Lizdex.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
very small. Very, very small amount.
And then so methamphetamine's just like. Little slight chemical difference, but it's
2 molecules
right there in the name.
Yeah,
there, and then some of them, you can get like that's the XRs and but you can get straight up amphetamine salts, like
prescribed. Yeah, that's what my bottles say. All my bottles all say amphetamine salt. Every bottle I've ever gotten.
That's a powerful bite. Yeah, those ones are. I like the dextro. That's better. For me, because like a 5 milligram amphetamine salt, holy cow! I mean, I'm laser focused for the day, but that'll keep me going. Yeah, that's.
But again, that's the problem with Adderall is there's different versions, right? They'll have an Adderall that's just amphetamine salt. They'll have one that's dextroamphetamine.
Yeah,
and they still call it Adderall. They still consider it in the Adderall family, so they prescribe it per milligram the same, even though it's a slightly different substance.
Yeah, it affects differently for sure.
No, I've noticed that too. I've definitely noticed that.
And
but yeah, Adderall is one of those weird things. It's like if you give Adderall to somebody who doesn't have ADHD, they tend to get very fidgety and mess with their hands.
A party drug,
grind their teeth.
Nah.
Definitely amps them up. Because I've seen it. I've seen it before.
Just last night, I was like getting a little I could feel myself starting to get a little not overwhelmed. I don't like using that word, but like I was getting kind of tired of the dinner we were at with a couple friends, and like I completely, just in order to stay focused on the conversation, I like there was like this little plastic toothpick that had a lime stuck to it, and I like twisted this thing. I like slowly bent it, like kind of like this thing, and I was like, I bent it out of shape and stuff, and I'm like fussing and fiddling with it, and I'm like, man, and it's way too late in the evening to try and take a 5 milligram or something. I'd be up right now, but it's like, yeah, man, I can feel it. It's like, man, I just don't have it in me in this right now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, the other thing is Benadryl. Benadryl will cancel out.
I can't do Benadryl either.
We'll cancel out stimulants also.
Oh,
so
yeah,
if you've ever had too much, like or L-theanine is another one that you can get over the counter. That'll cancel out.
That's a good one.
That works great. I love that thing. If you ever get jitters from drinking coffee or taking your ADHD meds, you take one of these little L-theanine over the counter. It's just a plant. It's a plant extract, and immediately feel better.
My little camera said it's too hot. Turn me off.
What?
Is it sitting in the window?
You're too hot, buddy.
Well, I was trying to use a different camera this time, and I guess the little point and shooter isn't gonna cut it.
Well, you snooze, you lose.
That's fine.
I'm
that's
giving
fine.
up your real
I'll be
estate.
a disembodied voice for a little bit. That's fine.
I just gave up your spot to David.
Still too much drugs and talk. All amount of drugs is bad for you, of course, if you have to take it to help yourself. Man, I don't know. I don't want to get on a weird path, but like, what is drugs?
Wait, what did they say? Still too much drugs in talk. All amount of drugs is bad for you. That's wrong. That is the dumbest and most ignorant thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
What is drugs, right? Like,
what is drugs? Is a drug a chemical? Because you have chemicals that you take every single day.
Yeah, and that's where we start getting into weird semantics.
No, this is the truth.
It's like
science. A scientific fact is it's not the substance that harms you; it's the amount that harms you.
Dose, right?
It's
the dose. The dose makes the poison.
You can literally die from water. You can literally die from too much oxygen. You can literally die from too much nitrogen, the thing that you need to survive, right? Like you can, and there's case study for it. Like you can prove it, right?
With US
it's the amount that makes something dangerous. That's why I tell people like to say, oh, methamphetamine. It's like, oh, Adderall is just like methamphetamine. No, the difference between Adderall and methamphetamine is they might be similar in molecule, but one, you're prescribed at a very, very low dose that is a therapeutic dose. The other one you're getting off the street is 10 times more powerful, designed to make you party your ass off.
In order to counteract,
blow your heart out.
In order to counteract effects. Yeah. I mean,
see my teeth?
Yeah. I mean,
notice how my teeth aren't dissolved away after 14 years of Adderall use, and I've gone to the doctor maybe once every 5 years.
Right.
You want to know why that is? Because I don't take enough of it to give me the effect where I'm grinding my teeth and I'm like eating the enamel off of them.
Your brain chemistry is off too enough that oh man, you're just addicted to the Adderall and stuff. Then how is it that I forget? How is it that I end up with like an extra freaking 45 or whatever?
Every time.
There's that extra. I can't. I can't get they only give me 30. I can only re-up every 30 days, and if I freaking lose this tube, which I've done, and then find, oh, hey, what's it rolling around in my drawer for? Like, tell me I'm addicted to this stuff, and then let me explain to you how many times I forget to take them, and that's an addiction, right?
Yeah, I ran out of Adderall. Haven't had it for 2 weeks. Haven't had a single dose for 2 weeks.
Dude, I'll go on vacation and not take them.
Yeah,
like if I was addicted, I'd have to be like,
you turn around and be like, oh my god,
Addies, bro.
Oh my god, I need it.
So,
I think of it as biotech. It's biotech talk. There you go.
Yeah, biotech talk.
Technology.
Yeah.
No,
Dude, to be fair, medical science is my most favorite. Like, I love cool shit going on in medical science. It is probably the most, outside of space, Medical science
Yeah.
is like the most coolest advances in human history. We're doing such cool stuff, fixing ourselves and making us live longer and curing things and doing amazing. Man, if not for medical science and drugs,
Oh, Bolin, you're good, bro.
We'd all be dying at 35 like we used to do 300 years ago. Like, man.
It's like a lot of our survival is drugs like antibiotics, for instance, right?
Yeah.
It's like antibiotics can be incredibly dangerous. It's actually one of the most dangerous drugs that we've ever created, but it's also the drug that saves more lives than any other drug we've ever created.
Yeah, like
warfarin.
Okay,
you know what warfarin is?
That's a blood thinner.
So it's a blood thinner. It's rat poison. It's literally was created to kill rats, and then they were like, "Well, wait a second. If we give less of it to humans, it just thins their blood." Because in rats, it causes them to have they bleed out basically because their blood gets so thin that it just starts coming through the wall of the vessels.
I didn't know that.
It's really bad way to go.
Horrible.
But they figured out, oh wait, if we give it to humans in low doses, it actually thins their blood and makes their less strain on their heart.
I'd love to know the guy who found out that nitroglycerin was cool for like heart problems. Like, oh, here drink this. Like, I don't know how they get it into you, but like, yeah, here, take this stuff that we use to make dynamite, and it's good for your heart.
Nitroglycerin is so sensitive that you can actually absorb it through your skin, just as has the same bioavailability through your skin as eating it.
Crazy.
So, like, if you've ever been in a hospital with somebody who's on nitroglycerin, you're not allowed to touch them. If you've ever been in a hospital, anybody who's taken oral, oral or patch nitroglycerin, they're like, don't touch them because the sweat that their body is exhuming has nitroglycerin in it, and you can absorb it through your hands just by touching them, and it can make you lightheaded, and you can actually pass out.
That's so crazy, man.
It's a heart related thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like
it slows down your whole it like relaxes and slows down your whole vascular system. Like everything. Like it relaxes the veins, it relaxes your heart muscle. I don't know if it thins the blood. I think they might add a blood thinner to do that. But they generally give it to people that are about to have heart failure. Like if you're in the hospital and you have a damaged heart, you're about to go into surgery, they usually put you on nitroglycerin for several days before the procedure to allow your heart to rest and heal and get as strong as it can before they perform the operation. And so and my grandma went in for like 3 different heart surgeries, and every time she went in, they gave her nitroglycerin. I remember they'd give us the talk. Do not touch grandma. Okay, do not hug grandma. Do not, because she couldn't sit up either. She had to lay flat because if she sat up, her heart couldn't handle the strain. So they'd lay her down and put her on nitro.
Wow.
But yeah, they're like, don't touch her. You can literally get a contact high from that, just from her sweat. And I was like, that's weird, man. That's like really weird. So I bet you the way that they figured out that the drug worked is some dude out there who's like laying dynamite to blast rocks and stuff. They're like, man, that guy seems really chill. like for a guy who's like running and sticking dynamite in a bunch of holes on rocks, he seems really chill, that guy. That's probably how they found out. No, it's funny. Like a lot of the technology we have, the stories behind how it's discovered is like you never guess in a million years. Like peanut butter,
and a lot of
brakes on
experimenting
cars.
on yourself too.
What's that?
People experimenting on themselves as well. Like the guy who discovered sepsis died of sepsis.
Yeah. Or there was one, I remember this one dude who he's like had a theory that some kind of bacteria was causing stomach ulcers, but they wouldn't let him. Right. I mean, the rules say like you can't experiment on humans. So he like drank a thing with this bacteria in it, gave himself ulcers, drank his theoretical cure, fixed himself, and was like, look, it works. It's like,
wow. Okay, that's a little too hardcore for me. I'm out.
Yeah. Well, that's what all the biohacking stuff does. Right?
Yeah, the CRISPR stuff. A lot of people are messing with that and testing it on themselves, and I'm like, dude, I'm surprised that we don't see more fatalities from that yet. The only thing I can think of is that they're just it takes so much precision to produce something that's viable that actually will go into your body and take over enough cells without the cells being destroyed. Like it's not you don't just roll the dice a whole bunch and get lucky. It's like you really got to know what you're doing with CRISPR to be able to create a gene that doesn't get rejected by the body the instant it comes into contact with something. Like you have to figure out how to
replicating like
right. Your goal is to, I mean, there's a whole process they go through, but your goal is to create a gene therapy that goes in, replaces a piece of RNA that goes unnoticed enough that your T cells don't attack it, but is functional enough that it'll actually produce a new protein in the replicated cells so that then those cells carry that code. And that code has to do something functional, which means there needs to be a fair amount of DNA or RNA added to it to do the function. Because it's like assembly, right? I look at DNA and assembly on computers. They're like the same thing. Assembly is like the digital version of DNA. With DNA, you just have you have the different proteins, right? It's like CN shit, it's been forever since I've done. Yeah, you got like the 4 building blocks or whatever,
Ronnie,
and yeah,
ACGTA.
they're like amino acids, right, or something like that, and then you have to have those in different orders, and depending on the orders that they're in, changes how they create a protein. And so think of it like if and while loops, right? You're
And how they
basically like,
fold.
and the direction in which they fold, right? So CTGA, thank you. And so, and then it changes a little bit, like between DNA and RNA. There's like some things that change between them, but at the end of the day, you're literally just programming, right? It's running top to bottom. Like you're just going through DNA, and each time it's going down to a new chemical, it's telling it at that stage what to do with what has already happened before it. So it's literally like running computer code, really. Hey, Joe Taji, thank you for the $5. Said Aux camera didn't turn off. There was just too much sexiness for YouTube to handle.
It's
entirely
too
possible.
Hot. It's too hot.
Hey, Aux, can we get a blow-by-blow update? How's it going with the camera there, boss?
I'm trying to. Whoa, I got a new. Trying to get the handy cam to work now.
Ooh, the fancy.
Ooh.
Getting that fancy working.
It's a balance. It's a balance.
So David,
fine balance.
Quite so.
David, what have you been messing with in the AI world, man? Because we got to talk about old Sam Altman getting fired.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There doesn't seem to be much about that, other than the fact that everyone was surprised, including Microsoft.
I have a theory. Okay, I have a theory. It's a conspiracy theory. It's of the conspiratorial nature, but working at Microsoft for 15 years and watching what they did with companies where it's like, oh no, that's sad that happened, and then they somehow come out on top. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if Microsoft doesn't have something to do with this happening. Whether it be their intention or it went wrong, but they were definitely involved. And the reason I think they're involved
Someone
is
was saying that Microsoft shut down their access to ChatGPT for a bit. There was some kind of a conspiracy theory about that Microsoft had shut down their people's access to it because of some issue, and they were wondering if maybe that has something to do with it.
There are some strange things that have happened during this Microsoft deal with OpenAI, because here's the thing that confuses the whole thing is OpenAI is a 501 Part 3C charity, nonprofit, like charitable company designed.
I thought they stopped that.
No. Here they didn't stop it. They didn't stop it. They partitioned the company so that the part of it that does the research for the AI is still 501, but the other part is now what do they call it? Partially profitable entity, which means that for every $1 million in investment into the company, that company who invested can pull out 10 or 100 times that. So if they put in $1 million, they can pull out 100 million, up to 100 million. Anything beyond that, then then they can't take that money. That money would go back to the charities. I understand it. So they've segmented it. But here's the thing: is Microsoft owns through this $10 billion contribution and the first $1 billion contribution, and the fact that they're giving them access to the Azure data center, which they couldn't do anything without it. Like all that free compute is like the only reason they're where they're at. And Microsoft has them so by the balls that Microsoft is the only, under the agreement that they have right now, Microsoft is the only company that has full unrestricted access to the source code, full unrestricted access to all the training data. No other company can. Other companies can use OpenAI technologies, but they can't look behind the curtain. Microsoft has the only deal with OpenAI where they can see everything. They can literally go in there, learn about the code. They can fork it and do whatever they want with it. That's what they're doing with Bing. Bing is just a active fork of OpenAI GPT-4.
Makes sense.
And so, but
Microsoft again?
What's that?
I'm back.
You just lost.
Oh, you're back? Okay, hold on here. Let's
no, he was back and then he's gone again. Oh, he's
back. I'm gone again. I'm right here.
He got him back. Disappeared. He disappeared.
Gotta shrink it back down there.
Right here.
You gotta,
you're disappearing.
Oh my gosh, dude. So Sam Altman, if you guys don't know, Sam Altman, otherwise known as the father of AI, and that pisses off Elon Musk, so that's why I love saying it. Sam Altman, the father of AI, he nobody saw this coming.
Yeah, this was
he just literally did a keynote on OpenAI. They didn't just hit their targets,
which I watched.
They exceeded all their targets. Their technology has been incorporated into more projects, not just Microsoft either. More third-party projects are using their technology now than any other startup in the period of time. Like, as far as I know, I think they broke every record for time for technology existing in the public and being publicly accessible to being deployed to the most number of tools and technology out there, both open source
They
and
put half
closed
of them
source.
out of business with their new update.
Yeah, right. Ugh.
So
I mean-
so the problem is, here's what I think. Here's my conspiratorial theories. I think that Microsoft, at first I thought Microsoft was trying to make a power play to acquire OpenAI, but the more I looked into it, I was like, that doesn't really make sense because they already got them by the balls. They already have full source access. They're already forced to use Azure. Even OpenAI themselves have to lease their own services back to them through Microsoft, through Azure, and pay for it. So Microsoft already has a sweet ass deal, and they can't go anywhere else. Like, they're not allowed to go anywhere else. Microsoft basically is a part of the agreement is they have to use their technology. And so Microsoft's got the sweetheart deal where it's like nobody else has this level of access to it. So why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? You know, so I don't think that's the play. But the weird thing is Sam Altman was buddy with Satya Nadella, and those two were making moves, you know, both on Microsoft side and on the OpenAI side to proliferate the technology into more people's hands. They both wanted AGI and racing towards AGI and, you know, basic artificial general intelligence, you know, make a computer a human. And this was the end goal. Well, now all of a sudden you just have this random firing of the CEO, which again, if you've ever seen a big company, keep in mind, this is a $30 billion valued company, OpenAI, and Microsoft has invested into them for what, 10 or 11 billion. So, and the CEO literally gets fired and Microsoft literally got minutes notice. This seems really weird to me.
Yeah.
Because big companies like that, like even if your CEO is caught diddling. What?
Well, they said the reason why they had to get rid of him because they couldn't trust what he was telling the board.
That was the biggest thing I've ever heard.
Essentially it's like it didn't sound like he was straight up lying, but just that like he was misrepresenting something. Yeah.
But that was pretty head on, I thought. Like normally they're a lot more sort of like, well, you know, we have a misunderstanding or something.
I mean, seriously though, in the past, like look at these CEOs that literally like they caught touching children that still takes 3 months of preparing the public before they boot them.
Well, and it's not just him. Like I did hear, and I think it was some Reddit posts and stuff from that were shared at work, but there were some other people who had come out and said, yeah, like we got fired too, or people who had left like along with him.
I did hear the people that left in solidarity. Yeah.
But I guess there was a couple other folks that were in on the like ousting or whatever. And I don't know, man. Board taking a darker direction. I don't think so. I do think it was I bet there was some sort of internal philosophical disagreement where like the board wants to, maybe not darker, I guess,
the money.
depending on your interpretation. But yeah, like the board wants to hurry with something. And Sam was like, whoa, maybe we should like take a break on this or something.
The money. Just follow the money. I'm sure you'll find the reason.
And I think he was trying to put the brakes on something that we're going to hear about soon, probably like in the early next year or something. And that's what, and he's not going to be able to say anything about it until it actually gets announced. And he goes, this is what I meant. This is fucking bullshit. Or, you know, I bet.
Well, he has to be careful, right? He has to step really carefully because for him to keep his options and for him to get his exit package and everything like that,
right?
He has to play ball. That's how they do this. Any company you work for where you're up near executive level or you're just a high paid employee for a long period of time, what they do is they hold options captive. Right. And they basically say when you leave the company, if you don't follow these rules and say stuff that makes the investors happy and keep the investors at ease, we will take that all away from you. If you just shut the fuck up and smile and say, hey, this was a great time. I love to hear thanks for all the fish. Then you were good. And you get your option package. And historically it was like that at Microsoft. Like I remember when my skip level boss was fired, right? Jason Upton, he was fired. He was the head of the dev. He was one under the vice president in the branch discipline of Windows, like the Windows project. And so he was super high up there, right? Executive guy. He got his executive bonus. And he got fired when he thought he was supposed to be getting a promotion. They fired him because they wanted to bring in one of the CEOs from another team because there was like some kind of a deal that was done under the blankets he didn't know about. And so they're like, okay, well, you're gone. If you want to find another job inside of the company, you're welcome to, but you're not going to be doing this job anymore. And he's like, all right, well, fuck you guys. I'll go do something else. You know, he's like, I got other things in the oven. And so they told him,
it's like, this guy's not going to be able to find something else.
Yeah. So they told him he couldn't say anything disparaging towards Microsoft. And as a part of his exit interview, he has to agree to draft a letter saying that he wasn't fired or relieved, that he's leaving of his own recognizance. And if he doesn't do that or violates any of that contract, he will be not only not get his bonus and not only get his exit stock, they will also sue him for breach of contract. And I thought that was weird because it's like, that seems like that should be illegal. Like you have to lie to the public, right? The SEC says investors are supposed to hear the truth, but you are being ordered to lie to the public. And if you do not lie to the public, you will be sued.
I mean, I can see where they make a bit of a distinction between, like outright lying and maybe just not saying anything derogatory, right?
Yeah, because I violated my contract when I left Microsoft. They gave me $200 and some odd $1,000 in pay and another $130,000 in options, and even gave me a promo out the door, which gave me another 15% on top of that. It was basically like they said, here's 300 and some grand, go home for a year, don't come back to work. But they said if you want to keep that money, you have to sign this agreement that says you will not say anything disparaging towards Microsoft. You will agree not to do any interviews, publish any videos, or post anything online that would lead anybody to the reasonable conclusion that you don't think Microsoft is an amazing company.
Yeah, right. It's
and so I signed that document.
Be quiet. Yeah.
So then I went home and I created the video, and I even had my son come in. At the time, I have my son who has a bunch of medical problems, and he's on the spectrum and everything. And Microsoft had a PR disaster. They were like, "Oh shit, do not engage this guy. Leave him alone. Don't take his money away." Because they did that to another person. Another person had stage 4 cancer. They laid him off when they were doing great. They had exemplary reviews every year. They were fighting stage 4 cancer. They laid him off in the second wave. Didn't give him any severance package. And the news agency, I think it was Como, contacted him. That's our news agency here. Contacted him, did an interview with him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm stage 4 cancer. I didn't know what to do. Like they took my insurance away because I was in wave 1. We got to keep our benefits for a year. We got all kinds of money. Wave 2 just got kicked out. They just got punted. You have 3 days, leave, you get no benefits. You get whatever you had when you were leaving." And so he had nothing. So he went to the media, even though he signed, the exit agreement that said that he could be sued for doing that. And sure shit, they went after him. They actually went after him, and they sued him even though he had no money. And they said that his options that he had, which he already earned and were already exercised, were in breach because the contract that he signed said that they could basically take back options that were already exercised, which I don't even know how that works. And so he was so distraught that he basically started a GoFundMe saying, "Hey, I need help. Like, I can't fight Microsoft legally. I'm literally dying. I'm spending all my time in the hospital. Then I'm not working." And so every media outlet picked it up and ran the story. And it was such a PR disaster for Microsoft that Microsoft basically gave him everything back, gave him a full severance package, and hired him back and gave him his old job back. Even though the team.
But that's it. You got to embarrass the companies.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what had to happen. So, and I kind of went the same route. I took a huge chance doing that. Like if Microsoft decided they wanted to come after me, they fully could have, but they chose that given the situation that it wouldn't have looked good for them and it would have caused more damage, that it was better to just ignore me. So they just had a blanket thing. Just ignore me. Don't interact with him online. Don't answer his tweets.
Good.
But it's funny because they still follow me. If you go look, like tons of people that follow me are Microsoft employees. None of them listened, and they all still talk to me daily. So yeah, so that makes me feel good. But yeah, companies do shit like that. So when I saw Sam and he's like, I saw the thanks for all the fish, message go out, like, "Oh, I loved my time at OpenAI, and I'll tell you guys what's going on later. I'm moving on to greener pastures." I'm like, no, that is the cover letter for fuck you. I just got fired.
Right.
I'm pissed, But my guess is
knowing a security issue.
What's that?
Do you think there was a security issue or something? I remember when they first came out, they had those issues with people being able to see other people's prompts. There was I'm just wondering if maybe there was have they screwed up somehow, or maybe there was some kind of a security thing, and that's why Microsoft stopped access.
For them to slay the CEO over that, first it would have to be very public, like we would all know it, right? It'd have to be very public, and then it would be a process to make sure that they paraded him and made it clear.
But what if he didn't tell them?
Oh, and they just found out of the blue? Oh, I mean, it's possible. If it caught him completely off guard. Another thing that I was just thinking about too. Actually, here's a theory that actually makes more sense now that I think about it. I've been doing AI stuff on my computer for months now, where I'm running completely off, not using any cloud resources. I got my little Titan XP and my little 3080 10 gig in here, just cranking away, to save their lives doing AI stuff. And the one conclusion I've come to is the amount of resources needed for AI is astronomical. Like it is not cheap. Like even at the most basic fundamental, your most basic LLM with like 7 billion parameters. I can't believe I'm saying 7 billion parameters are small, but that's true today. I'm running this thing with 10 measly gigs of VRAM, and it takes like 3 to 5 minutes to get an answer with a data set that's not even 1% of what OpenAI has. So when you think about the amount of processing power it's taking every time you're going to Bing and you're typing in a prompt, every time you're going to DALL-E and saying, draw me a picture, that is literally tying up the entire resources of like a $30,000 GPU for like 5 to 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And you have hundreds of thousands of people doing this. I mean, they have to buy more and more of these GPUs, more power for them. And the way it scales, it's like there's almost not even enough hardware to keep up with it. And that's why OpenAI they had to stop more users from signing up for premium. They literally don't have the bandwidth.
I'm like, man, I'm glad that I got my sub. Like,
they're
struggling. Not taking any new people. I'm
so
shocked.
Here's my conspiracy theory is, and this would actually make sense. I think this one lines up all the dots. I think Sam wasn't being honest with the board of directors with how much processing power it was taking to run this. And the board was thinking that this is something that could just hyper scale and everybody, we could sell this service to billions of people and just be making hand over fist money. I think Sam was purposefully lying to the board about how much this truly costs to run.
Like
and
the
I think
financial resources required to do
and
it.
I think that him and Microsoft, because they were, Sam and Microsoft were really tight, right? Through Satchel. Like those were the two that were really tight. There's a lot of people at OpenAI that did not like the relationship with Microsoft at all. Sam wasn't one of them. Sam actually, it turns out, was buddy with Satya Nadella. So my guess is that Microsoft doesn't care about the cost of things. Microsoft just throw more hardware at the problem, right? They monetize it a completely different way. Yeah, they can afford it. So I think Sam was like, it doesn't matter how big of a bill we rack up because Microsoft basically already owns us. And Microsoft was already dictating what they could do. Like, remember when they had to disable their Bing search functionality on OpenAI because it was competing with Bing?
Yeah.
So Bing's like, no, you guys have to turn that off. It's like, that doesn't, how can they tell OpenAI to turn off a technology they own? Well, no, because they're beholden to Microsoft because they gave them the 10 billion investment. It gives them the controlling share of that specific thing. So what I think was happening is that Sam was basically positioning the company to just be a Microsoft, patsy, and he was happy with that because Microsoft has the money and has the clout and everything to keep that thing going forever and grow into whatever his imagination could take him. And they could stand that power. But the board was like, the board wants to sell. The board would love to sell this and just turn and make a quick profit, right? Like if the board could say, hey, we could sell this for $500 million or $500 billion, and every one of the investors made a billionaire overnight, that's a move that the company would definitely want to make if that was put on the table. And I think Sam was holding back information from him, and they thought that, ooh, that's the case. We're heading towards this goal. But Sam's like, no, in reality, we're going into the toilet and we're operating at a huge loss. So even though we're valued at 30 billion because of the speculation of the stock, if Microsoft wasn't giving us all this processing power and we had to rent it ourselves, this wouldn't be profitable or scalable at all. And I think other businesses are finding it out the same way. You notice the only people that are creating AIs are the juggernauts, right? That Google, Facebook, only these people that have insane amounts of money that they can literally flush down the toilet so that every time you run a prompt, even if they break even and they're not making a single penny, they have other ways that they can monetize it.
Yeah.
But if you're just a company that just makes AI and sells it,
right.
So that's what
We're
I think.
all going to be
Sam
paying
was
the
lying.
nose for this stuff later.
I don't know. I do think Meta's on the right track, and I don't know how this might tie into it, but they're being very open, which is very strange to me. But their whole llama thing and all that, all of their AI business is all very open and downloadable. You can run your own instances of it all and stuff, and which is really cool. Very kind of a turnabout for them, which is, it's a little strange to see them being so open.
Have you played with their stuff at all?
Not me personally, but at work they are.
Yeah. So I've actually got something to so if you guys this is another thing. I don't understand how it works. So you guys will have to figure out the semantics of it, but there's a company that I found through a friend called POE. Poe.
Okay.
And Poe, like I think it's supposed to be like Edgar Allan Poe, right? It's called Poe, and I think it's Poe.com, POE.com. And it's basically an aggregator for AI services in the cloud that you pay, I think, $16 a month, I think is what they're charging. And $16 a month, you get the same access to GPT-4 and DALL-E 3 as you do with a regular subscription to GPT Plus, which I found interesting, right? It's like, okay, you're basically just getting AI access with the same amount of tokens, the same amount of questions and everything, but you only pay $16 a month instead of paying ChatGPT $20 directly. Yeah. That already tells you that's a better deal, right? Because it's like you're getting the same level of service with a standalone app, with UI. It's a little suspicious. Like I'm trying to figure out how this model is profitable,
keep all
right?
your information. Sure.
No, that's a given. That's a given. They're keeping all the information. Of course, they even want you to train bots, which I've done. So it's like you're creating these bots, and these bots that can do amazing things. They're then going to sell those and monetize them. And they make no bones about it. They tell you they're going to do that. But what I like about this service, because let's be honest, anything in the AI space, unless you're running it 100% on your own computer and running your own training, you're giving other people information. There's no way you can't use this without giving people information.
apparently, though, with the Chat GPTs, where you train them with your own data, they're not. They claim they're not. They're not using that data.
Well, I
That's
call
not being put
bullshit
into
on that.
Really?
The reason I call bullshit on that is because in order for that data set to be trained in, they have to actually run a training pass on it, which means they have to store a file with that training based on that data. Now, they may not keep the data. They may throw the actual data away once the training is done. But once the training is done, you can extrapolate the data just with prompts. Like the most basic prompt is so I created a bot of myself. As a matter of fact, I'm still waiting to test it because it's taking so long to train, because I literally downloaded the entire closed captions of every video I've uploaded to YouTube since 2008. It was 800 videos with millions of words spoken, and I uploaded it
How did
all
you get the
and created a bot.
transcription? Did you scrape it, or how did you get the transcriptions?
I'll tell. I would like to tell you. I actually did a tweet. If you guys want to go look at the tweet, I show step by step how I did it. But I use an open source program called. So I can't. Where else am I going to find an audience? I've got 114,000 followers on Twitter, and I know how to manipulate the algorithm now. The best, closest one I have is like 30,000 on Facebook.
I'm really like Threads, by the way. I know it's not like it's not as blown up as like it was a couple months back, but man, just every time I'm like, man, I catch myself doom scrolling on Twitter because like work and stuff I have to. I'm like, I'm gonna go to Threads.
Yeah,
it's way more nice.
I don't like
all the cool shit that I want to see, and there's never or very, very rarely is it any sort of negativity and like complaining. I've seen like disagreements, but the vitriol just look like isn't quite there like Twitter. It's crazy. Like the attitude of communication is very different, and I really
why I don't like Threads. So I love
want to learn another social media platform.
Sure.
Right, exactly.
Like, yeah.
But I'm looking at Threads right now, and Austin Evans, big YouTuber, big tech YouTuber, right? On Twitter, whenever he posts, his stuff gets like, thousands, if not tens of thousands of likes, retweets, all that stuff. I'm looking at his Threads account right now. He has 78,000 followers on Threads, which is respectable. But keep in mind, he has like 1 million on Twitter, right? He posted something, let's see, 1 day ago. He made a post about a video game system, has 9 replies and 278 likes. A guy who has 78,000 followers on there, who has 1 million on Twitter. If you went to Twitter, his like shittier post has way more engagement.
I just don't buy Twitter's numbers, though. I just don't. I get more responses from my email of awesome newsletter than I do from over 100,000 followers on Twitter. Like the response rate is like 0.001 or something. Like it's just, I don't buy that there's that many.
They tell me the truth about it though. Like that's the weird thing. Like if I look at my analytics, it'll straight up tell me that only like 200 people saw my tweet. Like if I go deep into deep analytics, and I'm like, it should have been way more than that. Like way more than that. But
did you get the check? Did you pay for the check?
Yeah. No, I've got the check. I even went through I went through the source code. I even went through the entire Twitter source code and figured out how the social system worked. I learned how the scoring works. I learned what you have to do to get your tweet visible to people who follow you, what you have to do to get your tweet visible to people who don't follow you, how you have to get your account in good standings. There's so many. The social scoring system is super complex. But if you guys want to explore it yourself, because I think it's one of those things you have to see for yourself, use ChatGPT to do it. The trick is if you ask ChatGPT to analyze the Twitter source code, it'll tell you to fuck off, right? But if you go to GitHub and go to GitHub/Twitter, because they haven't renamed it to X yet, download the source code. Say just download the source code with a zip file. Don't even unzip it. Just download the entire project as a zip file. It'll be like, I don't know, it's a couple hundred megabytes or whatever. Take that thing, open up a ChatGPT 4 premium session, drop it in as a zip file, literally just drop it in as a zip and say, look at all the source code inside of this file, and I'm going to ask you questions about it. And it'll crack it open. It'll give you a summary of all the files it found inside of it. How much is this code? How much is this code? And then start asking it questions. I was able, because there's so many parameters now in ChatGPT 4 Vision, there's so many parameters now that I got through probably 500 questions with it and got it down to where it was actually creating tables and graphs showing me differences and examples of what tweets would be suppressed, what tweets would be visible, how many hashtags will make your social score go up, which ones will make your social score go down. You can actually get it down to a granular point where it'll tell you, it'll even generate a tweet for you that will go viral compared to all your other tweets. Like I can go into it and I can say, based on all of the knowledge and the social score, what would be the ultimate tweet that you type to get the absolute max score you possibly could to make it visible to the most people. And it'll so like write a thing.
GPT, create your own chat GPT and then sell access to it.
I could actually create a bot on GPT-4 now that they
That's
just
the
started
idea. I
doing
mean,
bots.
that's the whole idea. Like, I mean, that's what I was looking into because I thought, well,
That's
you
not a
know,
bad
could
idea. I might do that.
you know, like you could take. I mean, I was thinking about doing the same thing as you've done with your transcriptions. I thought it'd be just great to get like a list of topics that I've talked about in the past, so I could keep track of that and links and that kind of stuff. But
My bot is
yeah,
still
I mean, like
processing.
that. But that makes total sense. Like you sell access to that, I could just go
Yep.
in and type what I want to know, and you get like whatever the money is. Have they announced the split yet on what you get on?
No,
on that?
they're just like it's going to be monetizable eventually. Same thing with Poe. On Poe, I created my bot, and it's like, oh, it's not monetized right now, but this is how it'll work once we go live with the monetization.
Right.
And
Right.
they even have my Stripe
I'm
account all
just-
set up and everything.
I'm so jaded at this point, and I know it's not even just about social media in general. It's just myself in general. I have forced myself now. What I do every week now is I read the newsletters that I have subscribed to for a million years and never read. I don't read all of them, but I pick out the topics that I'm interested in. I focus on a few, 3 or 4 of them, and then I put out an email newsletter to people, and it's just so much more fun because it's more of a deep dive. You don't get that skimming feeling that you get from the social media platforms. You dive into a subject, you learn about it, and then I regurgitate it in my own format, with my own comments and stuff on it. And I've just found the experience I feel smarter. The responses I get back are like they're email. It's just an email. So you just get an email back. Someone says like, "Oh, cool," or that's actually not right, or whatever. And it's just such a great way to do stuff. In fact, I will invite everyone. Yeah, you know what? Go to techbandits.org and sign up for the email of awesome awesomeness, and you too can have it. I love it. I just love it because it's all of a sudden it feels more like a community again. I miss. I definitely get a fear of missing out. Like I will go to Twitter every so often and post something or look at stuff. But I like Aux there. I get sucked
I'm
into
legitimately
I'm like, oh my God, someone died. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I can't,
up and down.
I can't do it anymore. I'm coming to the realization that like I'm on the raggedy edge, man. I can't keep seeing all of this negativity and arguing and anger and meanness
in dying or being stupid or being stupid and
dude,
dying.
It's every single day on Twitter. It's something else, man. Like I'm seeing this I know this is getting off of the tech talk kind of stuff, but it's just today. It's P. Diddy and some woman named Cassie. Now they're like suing each other for I guess Diddy's beating up on her and stuff and stuff.
And rape or something,
yeah, man. And it's just if that's not it, it's something else. It's the Hamas Israel stuff. It's before that it was something else. It's just it's
information overload.
Not just information. I can handle a flood of information.
It's outrage.
It's the negativity. It's the constant you're wrong. These people are evil. I hate.
I feel like you have to get involved. Like you have
and the attitude thing, like the attitude shift between Threads and Twitter, right? If I go on Twitter, this is not my example. I'm going to steal this from somebody else. But if I go on Twitter and I say, "Man, waffles are awesome," somebody in the comments is going to be like, "Well, you fucking hate pancakes, then?" And it's like, bro, I did not even mention fucking pancakes. Pancakes are cool too, but I just love waffles more. Like I like waffles more than pancakes. Pancakes are fine. I'll eat a fucking pancake.
Not everyone can afford waffles. Yeah.
But well, I'm triggered because my mom made me eat fucking French toast all the day. That kind of thing. And we're on Threads. It's like, yo, man, you're right. Waffles are great. And you know what? Have you tried pancakes like this? Because pancakes are pretty bomb too. And it's like, oh man, yeah, pancakes are pretty bomb too. It's a lot more of
I just worry about getting sucked into the meta Facebook mire again.
My biggest fear is becoming irrelevant.
Completely irresponsible.
Irrelevant, sure. Yeah.
My job is to be relevant. Yeah, I have a legitimate fear. And I think a lot of it just has to do with OCD and my situation and my life and everything.
Twitter's going to help that? You think Twitter's going to make you relevant? I don't buy that.
Well, it's the only place where I have like a direct line of communication with people. And that's not even true anymore. It was true, but now it's not true anymore because Elon has it. Because every other place has been completely manipulated. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, every one of those places, if I try to reach somebody with something that I think is important or something I need to be said, then it gets heavily censored and heavily hidden. Unless you play the game, you have to play the game.
Yeah.
Even on YouTube, it's like if you make a video on YouTube now, it used to be if you made a video that was like viral that everybody would want to watch and add some kind of value to it, YouTube will just bury it because it's like, oh, the people that watch lurk too much and they don't respond because it's a happy video and happy videos don't get as much of a response. So then they bury you for some drama shit, and then what they do is they're conditioning you. And I explained this the other day on Twitter. Twitter is set up. If you look at the source code and you go through and you actually use ChatGPT to see what is the end goal of this code, it will tell you that to manipulate you towards responding to people in a specific way that overall benefits the platform. The whole goal of the platform is if you say something, it decides, do I want people to see this? Because if people see this, it's going to make you feel like you should talk about that more. So if this is something that negatively affects the platform, then hide it from people that would respond to it so that it looks like nobody wants to respond to it, so that you'll feel punished and feel shamed into not posting something like that again, even though if all things were equal, that would be the most popular thing you ever posted. But and it's just we're all being manipulated, and it sucks.
But then why do you want to be a part of that then? Like, why not start, boldly go somewhere else?
So the biggest problem that I'm fighting with right now is, one, my therapist is gone, which is really making shit hard because she was the only person that could really like work with me on these things. Is my OCD is so bad now that it's like flipping on a light switch when you walk into a room, right? Or you feel like something bad's gonna happen. I feel like if I leave Twitter, something bad is gonna happen. Like I feel like if I leave Twitter and like if I just deleted my account on Twitter and I walked away, that my YouTube channel would completely die, my Twitch channel would completely die, everything would just be gone. If I didn't have that like holding the universe together. And it's an irrational thought, but it still plagues me. I still have the fear isn't rational, but it's there. Like I can't make it go away.
I get it. I mean, I get that. Like I haven't deleted my Twitter account. I still pop on every so often and stuff, but I'm having to I feel like it's like giving up caffeine or cigarettes or alcohol or any other thing.
It's very much an addiction.
The fun that I've given up on. It's very much an addiction. And I'm it's not, like I honestly, I think if I enjoyed it, I would still do it because I mean, I used to love about Twitter was I would meet people I didn't know. We met on Twitter, I believe. I met
a lot of my friends I met on Twitter.
That's it. And I think it's been wonderful for that, for me, for connections, for all my tech, nerdy stuff. I meet all these people who I'd never have access to otherwise. I've started looking for other ways around that. And I think there are ways around it now. Like, I feel like, LinkedIn is interesting somewhat because I feel like it's a little bit more people are on their better behavior for the most part because they're trying to be business-like.
Yeah. It's a little weird.
Well, they make you tie an identity to it. You're not going to be anonymous on LinkedIn.
Right. Oh, that's right. Well, yeah, but the whole nature of it is you don't want to be. I mean, you want everyone to know.
But inherently, anywhere you're anonymous is going to become a cesspool.
Yeah.
And so any platform that allows you to be anonymous is going to breed people that are there for the sole purpose of upsetting you and making your life hard.
Yeah. I like that
what do you get?
The greater internet fuckwad theory.
Yep.
the enshittification of the internet. Are you? So let me ask you this, Barnacules. What do you get from Twitter now? Like, are there tangible, qualitative? Like, could you say, if I don't post on Twitter about my stream, I get X number less people watching or whatever.
Yeah, that is true. Because I've forgotten to tweet out my stream before, and I usually get about 30% less viewers on my live streams if I don't.
There is. So there is a definite impact.
There's a massive impact. For sure. Yeah, even for Tech Talk. If I don't tweet out Tech Talk, we'll get like 70 people. Huh?
Why don't you stream on Twitter then?
Because I don't think you can monetize streaming on Twitter, can you?
Doesn't Tucker Carlson get money for fucking streaming on Twitter?
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's like saying on Twitch the people that have the 100% benefit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get that.
No, if you bought the check, you can apply. I'm pretty sure with the check you can apply for revenue.
Twitter does pay me. Does pay me. I get a check for like $60 or $70 a month for my tweets. Apparently, I don't know why, because they're just putting ads on them or something. Yeah, I signed up for the Twitter ad program. So check this out. So when I was going through the source code, this was about 2-3 weeks ago. When I was going through the source code, I noticed that your social score gets a 2x bump for being a member of the ads program. So if you join the ads program, your social score gets doubled for every post that you make. So essentially that means that roughly 2 times as many people who would have seen it in their feed now will see it because you signed up for that program. You also get a 2x bump for buying the blue check mark. You get a 4x bump for attaching a video. You get an additional 2x bump for attaching a picture. If you use no hashtags, you get a demotion. If you use 1 or 2 hashtags, you get a promotion. If you use any more than 2, 3 or more, then it becomes a demotion. It goes down more and more and more the more hashtags you add. Your last 1,500 tweets, going back, if you have that many, your last 1,500 tweets get averaged, all the social score across those 1,500 tweets, and then that's your base social score that everything builds or takes away from. So, like, if you have a history of, like, fuck Elon Musk, because I found this out, and this is why I had a period where nobody was seeing anything. Only like 5 people that followed me out of 114,000 were responding to me. I created an alt account, and I couldn't see anything. Like, every time I'd post, I'd go to my alt account and look in the following feed where I just follow myself. There's nothing in there. Just I couldn't see any of my tweets. I was like, God, I'm shadow banned. Like, I am legitimately like hard shadow banned. It's happened like 3 times now since Elon's taken over. So I'm like, what do I got to do to fix this shit? So I start going through the source code, and it says, oh, your last 1,500 tweets. Well, I was particularly hard on Elon that month. Like, I mean, literally, I went hard. I was like, everything was like, fuck this, bringing up his past, bringing up a bunch of shit. Obviously, a lot of that stuff is in their AI filter to demote people that say that stuff. So I managed to get demoted so far down that no matter what I did to my tweet, I couldn't get it above water. Like, I was starting out from such a low social score that even though I did everything I could for the individual tweet to bring the score up, it was so far down in the first place, it didn't really help. So what I did is I went back and I created a bot that just searched for every single tweet where I referenced Elon Musk from a period back, and I deleted it. I just went through and deleted every tweet where I tagged Elon Musk from about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago back to the beginning of my Twitter.
Why do you want to be on this platform then? That makes me even more.
So by doing that,
get
the game, it's the
no,
puzzle.
But check this out. So now I do that.
Yeah, it's true.
I delete it. It took about 48 hours before they re-rolled the dice. I don't know the exact time at which they recompute the averages, because they're obviously not doing it in real time because they have to look at 1,500 of your past tweets. So I wait for the reroll. The reroll comes through, and I go look at my analytics. And without changing anything in my tweeting behavior, all I did was delete those past tweets. I posted for like 3 days, went and looked at my analytics. It boosted by 400% across the board, 400% on impressions, up to 600% on engagement. I even had one that was over 1,000%, which was for plays on videos. So like posts that had videos on them. So then I just posted stuff. Every post that I did for like a couple of days had videos attached to it. I just made like little video shorts and put them on there, right? Everything that I put a video on got 3 to 4 times more impressions. Not engagement, but like the impressions where it says it showed up in someone's feed.
Yeah, more people seeing it.
When they're trying to compete
4x.
with TikTok now.
Exactly. So what they're doing is they're rewarding things. If you do certain things, you get rewarded. If you don't, you get punished. It's the carrot and the stick.
I've thought about that, like why people don't post more like video replies on Twitter, because like I think even as just like a basic user, you have like a 2-minute video limit, I think, of upload, and you can say a lot in 2 minutes, even just normal. Yeah, right. Yeah, like even just normal speaking. Like I'm not even trying to smush a lot in. Like a person can say a lot in 2 minutes, and especially since Twitter does seem to be wanting to like pump up video content like that. It just seems, 1, more video posts initially, and then 2, as a reply as well. It's like, I don't know. It just seems like you would get better engagement that way.
I feel like Barnacules, you'd be better on TikTok. Like I feel like you better to nail those algorithms.
Well, I am because on TikTok. I have several posts that have over 4 or 5 million views, which I don't have on any other platform.
Just like Twitch.
So focus on that. Like why? I feel like my concern with Twitter is like if you're worried about Twitter going for yourself, I'm worried about Twitter going in general. Like at some point, he's gonna have to cut and run because it's not making any money. It's not.
So TikTok, I got 4 million views and I made $2 on 4 million views. On Twitter, on 12,000 views, I made $67. So
hey man, you can't argue with that.
TikTok is great if you want to be seen by a bunch of random people that have no allegiance and don't want to come back. And they just see you once and never see you again.
Difficult to build a community.
It's a great place, but it's really difficult. Even if people follow you on TikTok, the problem with TikTok is it's really easy to follow hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I like your thing. I like your thing. Well, when you follow 100,000 people, that means that you open up your feed. It's like, if I TikTok something, it may take you 8.5 hours of scrolling to get down to me. And you might not watch 8.5 hours of TikTok. So it becomes really hard for people to see your content on a platform like YouTube, where people are more than likely subscribed to people that they want to watch most of the content they make. you have a much higher chance of people seeing it. But now YouTube's even fucked with the algorithm where that's not the case. Just because you subscribe to me and I release a video, it doesn't mean you're going to see it. You're only going to see it if it meets certain criteria that helps YouTube. Like one thing I found out with YouTube is if you go change the titles on your videos. Like this is something I've been doing lately, and I think it's easy as fuck, but I'm just doing it because you have to.
Yeah.
Go to ChatGPT, punch in any title to any one of your videos. Grab like an old video that just lost, nobody's watching it anymore. You go into ChatGPT, paste the video, say take this. This is a title for a YouTube video. I want you to reword it using as many current viral terms and trends that meet the objective of the same topic of the original title that I give you. Just type in some prompt along those lines. You hit it, it comes back and tell it to use at least one emoji, use at least one hashtag, and it'll come back and be like, wow, you won't believe this experience. Oh my God, click here to see what happens or whatever. You're like, that is the clickbaitiest, dumbest shit ever. Nobody's ever going to watch that. You copy it, you go in, you paste it in the dashboard, you wait 7 days, you go back and look at the analytics, and now this video that was completely dead, getting no views, all of a sudden has jumped up and is now getting 500 or 1,000 views a day. And you're like, go ahead.
My concern is just this, and I think this has happened in the film industry as well, where the film and TV industry is now about content. It's not about the shows. It's not about the stories. It's not about the connections you have with audiences or any of that kind of stuff. It's about content. And my concern is that social media, if it pushes us, it continues to push us towards this algorithmic approach to the creation of content. I think it's going to be better for us to step out of that and become something original and refreshing and truly a personality of your own, because I worry that so much of the stuff sounds the same. When I go to look up something about programming or I was looking at a Roblox hacking the other day. I mean, there's just obviously people are doing exactly the same thing. They're going to ChatGPT, they're typing in their titles, and I don't want those titles. Like I want a boring freaking video on Roblox. That's what I want. I just want to learn something, and I feel like
I miss gaming.
Well, that's I mean, I get sick now. So there's so few games I can play now.
I played Super Mario Wonder the other night. Loved it. It was like I was like a kid again. Me and Xander passed the controller back and forth for hours playing it on an emulator on the TV in the bedroom. And it's just old school Mario, just with like way better graphics. And it was like, I don't know, it was a great experience. And I'm like, why don't I game more?
Alan Wake 2. We started playing that bad, and I started playing that. That's some creepy stuff. Man. I don't think it's particularly. I don't know. I've seen a lot of horror movies that I think might be a little better, but as a technical horror story, it's really fun, really fun. You know
what I truly miss? If I'm being honest with myself, what I truly miss is I wish I could just snap my fingers. I wish I could just disengage from all of this shit completely and literally just have a firewall where I post and it just gets posted places, but I don't see anything other than the post. The post just goes up and it just is what it is. And the only thing that I focus on is the live streams and the videos. That's it. That's what I would love to go back to. And it's funny. It's like, why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? That's why I had a freaking therapist, because for some reason I can't. Every time I do it, I literally shut down. I start shaking. I start freaking out. I start having panic attacks. I get myself in danger sometimes. I almost have to go to the hospital. It's like, there's something wrong. There's something broken with me where it's like, I'm afraid to do that. But I know in my head, like I know in my heart, that's what I need to do. Like if I want to be successful at this and I want to make a living at it, like I did for so many years, the formula is not to sit on Twitter and pick fights with a bunch of kids that just want to fight and try to pander to a platform to reach people with shit that I wouldn't normally want to post anyways, just to pander to that platform so people will see something, And I don't want to do that. What I want to do is just post the shit that I want to post, slather it all over the place, and at the end of the day, hope that people find it. But I'm afraid.
Well, I'm lucky enough.
Horribly afraid.
Like I'm lucky enough to literally be able to do that. Like like that's literally in a way what I'm doing now. I know that my videos are badly titled, badly thumbnailed, badly marketed, whatever. I don't care. I'm doing them for myself. The people who want to watch them, great. They don't, doesn't matter. But I've also got acting as an income, right? And this is not right. This doesn't have to be my
changes
income.
Everything.
I don't know, man. I do think that is where things are going to go, and I think that is still one. I think you can make a thing that way. Where you have like the riches are in the niches, right? I do think that, but it's an adjustment of expectation. I've kind of touched on this before. Where like,
I agree.
We're in the era of where everybody can have their 15 like raving fans. Where like not everybody needs to be Charlie D'Amelio or fucking Logan Paul or PewDiePie or whatever. You don't need.
I love having a small audience.
People
love it.
have it in their head that that's what success means, and it doesn't have to be that way. Like one of these days, I'm going to sit down and really figure out, like, okay, how many, Twitch subscribers do I need to like replace, or not just Twitch subscribers, because like you can't just focus on Twitch either, right? You got to diversify. You got to do like merch and some other things, and like whatever, Patreon and things like that, or whatever, and have like maybe physical products or digital products or things like that. But like, what would it take to really replace like my day-to-day income? And like, okay, now how do I get there? And it's not that much. It really isn't. It seems like a lot, but when you have it in your head that 10 million subscribers is like the goal, 100,000 is probably more than enough to really sustain you. If you're not trying to have a Lambo in the driveway,
Yeah. Do you want a cottage industry, or do you want like a corporation?
Yeah, like I just want to do what I love to do the most. I want to be the best at what I do. I want to be the best at what I love doing, and that's enough.
I just want to know my family's taken care of, and then I'd be myself again. But I can't be myself until I know that that's taken care of, and that's
I feel like
the
you can
chicken
be
and egg
yourself
situation.
and get to a point where it sets up yourself for safety.
That's what I got to figure out. I got to figure out what that formula is. I got to figure out what that formula
consult on the Twitter stuff.
But that's
go
what I'm
consult on the Twitter. Go approach companies and say, guys, what do you need to know about Twitter? And I'll
that's where I think your move to Twitch was like a really good idea. Was probably one of your best moves, in my opinion, because I know that as much as you love making videos and putting on YouTube and stuff, I know that a lot of the difficulty in that is the editing and the stress of putting out on a schedule and stuff.
Oh no, Twitch was an amazing move back in the day, because I went from YouTube I was making back then.
Your personality so much better.
Like YouTube, I was making $12,000 a month in my prime, $12,000 to $20,000 a month on YouTube and ad revenue. And then I moved over to Twitch because I didn't like live streaming on YouTube. It felt weird.
Yeah,
right. I was mostly doing game stuff back then. So I moved over to Twitch and just started live streaming on Twitch. It was a much smaller audience. I loved the interaction with people. It was just a completely different thing than what YouTube was back then.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved it. But the thing is too, is like back then, I would have, if I streamed on YouTube, I would have 6,000 to 12,000 live viewers at my peak, right? This is like back when I was 1%er in YouTube. And then I'd come over to Twitch and I would only get 2,000 to 2,400 would be about the max that I get on Twitch. Way less live viewers, but I would end up making way more money, and people were way happier because everything was direct interaction. They were causing things to happen. I was doing things. It was a lot of fun, and YouTube didn't create an environment that was really good for that kind of interaction back then.
Yep.
And so Twitch nailed it. And that's what I loved about Twitch. But now you look at it, it's like you come over to Twitch and it's like, I'm lucky to ever break over 300 live viewers anymore, and the year before that it was 500. The years before that it was 700. The 2 years before COVID or whatever, it was over 1,000 consistently. So it's like, it just keeps going down and down and down. And then you're like, shit, how am I gonna survive doing this? Like, it just doesn't seem possible. And then my health problems get into my head.
Who are making it though? I mean, the people who are supposedly doing amazing at this, what happens to them? They all have freaking nervous breakdowns because you can't maintain 100% this all the time. You cannot do it.
Nope.
It's not
possible.
It's just we're not designed for that. And the problem is that all of these platforms don't give a fuck. If you disappear, that's fine. Then someone else will pop up.
Yep.
You can have, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like it's one of the reasons why I like the newsletter approach is I go like, this is just me.
Yep.
Like, I will control this. This is my, look, it'd be wonderful at some point if there were enough people involved, enough people enjoyed it, that you could actually have an ad on it that ends up paying more than, a 50 Twitch feeds would or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I just, and then it's yours. There's no, it's that's a business to me. This one, I'm concerned about this is that I feel like we're the little fish floating around the front of the shark. You know what I mean? Like that we're just, some of us do better, some of us don't. And every so often the shark twitches and takes out a bunch of us because he's in a bad mood or something. You know what I mean? Like we don't own these platforms.
That's right.
We don't own them. We have no control over this stuff. You know
yeah, we don't even own the right to be on them. It's like literally we are at everybody's mercy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube could change the rule tomorrow saying, sorry, if you're over 300 pounds, you're encouraging people to eat too much so you can't have videos on our platform anymore. And there's nothing I can do about it.
And we talked about amphetamines and medications, and then there you go, bang, we're just, you know what I mean? Like
demonetized. There's no money now. That's how it works.
Kids, when I talk to Tech Bandits kids, if I'm ever online, they're always terrified that I'm going to say something. Whenever I say something that I want to talk about, they go, "Oh no, don't talk about that. You're going to get demonetized." I'm like, I don't care. I want to be able to talk about what I want to talk about.
Yeah, same thing on Twitch. I'll slip up and say like, I'll say something like OnlyFans. It's like boom, demonetized. Oh, Twitch. Oh, you can't say that term. You can't say that term. Even it doesn't even matter what. Yeah, it also doesn't even matter. This is the thing that pisses me off. It doesn't matter the context in which the word is said. Context doesn't matter anymore. It just matters that the word is said. Even if you were literally saying this is the worst word in the world, and I'm telling you this so that you never see it and you know what it means if somebody says it, so you can report it immediately, you will still just instantly be banned because nobody will draw nobody will look at the context and say what they're doing with it is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do the same thing for the opposite, right? The opposite is true too. I can use.
No,
I think it's gonna get worse.
I think it does gonna get worse.
Yeah.
I posted a very sarcastic comment to one of your posts on Instagram, Jerry. Not even very sarcastic, but clearly
got a
very obviously
or something, didn't you?
Obviously sarcastic in tone and like whatever. And their auto mod thing, like instantly, I hit post and
are you sure you want to post this?
No, it didn't even ask. It says,
"Oh, okay."
I think I got caught for like apparently trying to promote a link or something, or some scammy sale or something. I don't know, but yeah, I was banned from commenting for 24 hours. Even on Threads, I couldn't reply on Threads either to anything.
Yeah, this is what
24 hours,
I
and I repealed it instantly. I'm like, this is outrageous. If a real human being saw this message, there's no way this could be construed as like a scam or that I'm being mean or anything like that. And it doesn't matter because there's only a 24-hour ban, so no human is actually going to have the time enough to like look at it. And so I just ate it, and I was like, but that is so dumb. And I have no idea if I could even bring up like the ban or I don't know where to find that sort of stuff on my Instagram. But I was like, oh, how could you?
Do you see what Facebook does? So check this out. If I hate Facebook, I hate it, but I've been trying to
see what what's weird. I've been back on Facebook a bit more, only because a lot of the people in Paris were on Facebook.
Oh,
so I ended up talking to a bunch of nerds in Paris, and I actually found it okay because,
I get mostly trolls on Facebook. That's why I don't like Facebook. Like, I'm on there most over, hey, fat fuck, kill yourself, blah blah blah. A lot of that, which is ironic because anytime I respond and I say something equally bad, I get this pop up on the screen that's like, hey, we've analyzed what you're about to say, and this looks like this is something you wouldn't want to say, but we're going to give you a chance to go ahead and recant and not post it now. By posting this, you may find that it gets blocked immediately. It's like, wow.
Orwellian.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost. All right.
But here's what scares me. Let's bring AI back into the picture. Yes. Let's bring AI back into the picture for a second. Sure. This is what scares the shit out of me is right now, no matter how Orwellian it is under the old non-AI world, before AI, as we're going to look at this like before creation and after death.
Yeah.
Before AI, you could find a way to use clever language, coding to get your message across without slipping through the barrier. So there still was a way to get information out. You just had to be cheeky about it, right?
Right.
Now with AI, you can't, because AI has learned how every construct of language works, and every possible language it understands coding, it understands anything, any way that you can convey a message, it can figure it out, right? So now what happens is, let's say that you just want to tell people I am in danger. Like you were in a situation where you're like, I need to tell people I am in danger. I could say I am in danger. Sorry, the message that you're indicating is of a negative nature, and this could make somebody like feel bad that you're in danger, and then they're not in danger.
Triggering someone.
Yeah. So then you reword it. You're like, don't worry, I'll reword it. Okay, guys, I really need your help right now. Wink, wink. Oh, by saying wink, wink, the AI has detected that you're more than likely saying that it's more serious than it is indicating it's the same message. Oh, okay. Hey guys, you know that thing that one time with the thing where I was, remember the post from 3 weeks ago, word 3, paragraph 5? Oh, right. Looking at word 3, paragraph 5, it is clear that you're trying to say that you're in danger right now, which is against our TOS, and you can't post this. So you basically have no way to say anything that the platform doesn't want you to say. And then even if it does let you say it, it's changed the social score so that it only reaches the people that you don't want to reach with that message, the people that are most likely going to push back because they want you to be punished for making that message. And it's not going to reach the people that would praise you for putting that message out there. That's what worries me with AI, is that AI is going to give us a fucking phobia, because AI is going to make you go, oh, that thing you posted wasn't viral, but that picture of the cats licking each other's asses or whatever, oh, that was hilarious. And then you're going to be like, all I'm going to do is go find photos of cats licking each other's asses and post it, because that's the only thing that my friends go, oh, Lols, that's the greatest thing. You're so funny. And I get more followers and I get more
Mhm.
admiration. I feel special. But the truth is, the only
think
reason
it'll-
that's happening is because everything else that I shared that would have even been more popular got blocked because that didn't help the platform, which was
Yeah.
sell pictures of cats eating other cats' asses.com.
Yeah, but think about it though. But then by working within their system, you are basically quantifying your own content into what's popular and successful for their platform, which means that once AI is good enough, they don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
It'll create it
Know
itself.
exactly what data. There will just be bots out there spitting out crap that makes people laugh or makes people think, weird little
You got to
memes
be
and all that
feeling
kind of
this,
stuff.
David. You got to be feeling this in the actor, like in the Screen Actors Guild and stuff. That you are not just you and everybody from you all the way down to people making burgers and McDonald's. We've already seen it. We are training our replacements. Every single human being right now is training our replacements, and the only way that this works in the end is if once we've all trained our replacements to be our AI overlords, that we all get to do like up and just go, or not up. What's that? What's that? Wally. We all get to go Wally and just do whatever we want in our hover chairs, and the money doesn't exist anymore, and we all have holodeck time and stuff. That's the only way this works out in the end. But do you really think that's what's going to happen? No, it's going to drive a wealth gap where you're going to have these 1%ers that own all the technology in the world, all the money and all the resources, and then you're just going to have the slave class.
0.01%ers. It's going to be.
Exactly.
I mean, the way it's going right now, it's getting even. That
scares me.
The film and TV, I don't think gets it. I've never the strikes thing I found very frustrating because I was like, in order to strike, you have to have leverage, and I don't know. Every high school in the country has 2 or 3 kids who want to go off to LA and become actors or writers or directors or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's there's not a lot of them that want to go and work on a factory in Detroit. Yeah, I mean, there's so obviously the auto workers have a much better leverage than a bunch of people who would like to earn the money as an actor or whatever. But the other thing is that I watched writers, I watched directors, I watched actors all rush to social media and to do their blogs or to do their video blogs or to do their podcasts and they all went to be creative for free on the platforms that are killing the industry that they're a part of and that they're not working for money for right now. It's done now. I think that's out of it. But I was like, and again, I don't disagree. I'm an asshole. I'm on the side of AI and robots. I think that, I say if it hurts us or it's bad for us, let's let robots do it and let's figure out some other way to look after each other. I mean, I think so. Yeah, I feel like, if you want me in a Marvel movie, it makes probably more sense to just do an animated version because I can't do half of the stuff that they want me to do anyway. I get, I'm not being, I don't think I'm immune to this, but at the same time, I can't imagine what it's like for new people showing up. And
I love AI.
Talking to me. Yeah, me too. I absolutely do. I just think we want to be careful that we use it as a tool to help us, not to just sort of sit there railing against it and watching it just, take over your industry.
Yeah, my fear is that if this is used ideally, I'm 100% on board. Like if this is used ideally and there's rules in place and it's like, yeah, somebody calls you up and goes, oh, you're a funny guy. I like that video you did 10 years ago. You mind if I make a digital remake of that video with your likeness, your same comedy, things you'd say, you can sign off on it or whatever. And it's easy for you. It's easier for me. We both make a bunch of money. I think that's amazing. I think that's the best use case scenario. What I fear is going to happen though, is they're going to go, why are we paying this guy when we can just say, make him look 20% different, make the language 20% different than how they would say it, but capture the same sentiment, use current lexicon that's more popular than the lexicon that was used back then, and create a digitally identical, but slightly different enough, or legally different, right? Legally different.
Or localized Jerry's that appeal to each specific group. Yeah.
So one day I log in and all my...
Yeah,
everybody that's following me, my entire audience is gone one day. It's like, where did they all go? And I go to it and it's like, oh, they went over to the Barnacules Nerdgasm channel. And you're like, what's Barnacules Nerdgasm? And it's literally like a caricature of me with the same comedy, the same things, the same script, slightly different voice, but same mannerisms, doing all the same stuff that I used to do. And it's like, how do I compete with that? And then I make a video, and then it immediately, within 15 minutes of me releases the video, does a reaction video to my video that gets 10 million views, and I get none because everybody found that one first because I had the bigger audience. And then everybody's like, I really love that Barnacules Nerdgasm guy, but they're not really supported. They don't realize they're not supporting me because they don't really think that far ahead. Yeah. They're like, oh, I'm watching this content.
we're seeing with music now, right? The musicians don't make any money on the music anymore. They make money on
Right.
concerts, which is the opposite. They
Yeah.
used to lose money on concerts. Now they make
Right?
concerts.
And merch.
I think it's the same thing. I think if you want to be, I would say that the difference between any of us and an AI created content machine is that we can go do a live tech talk at a freaking bar and bring in people that way. I think that's probably where we're going to go. In fact, I say that we should do that. We should literally do that.
And I think that you're absolutely right. It ties to the concept I've mentioned before about like furniture and whatnot, where people will appreciate fill in the blank of whatever industry. They will appreciate the more handcrafted product.
Absolutely.
The mass produced,
and the people
will still consume the mass produced stuff. Like this, it's easy and it's brainless, and people like to just unplug and be like fuzzed out. But there will be communities that appreciate the hands-on, the custom made, the human touch. Just like and we meet up in a bar and maybe there's 100 people, but we could still live stream that too, and that lends that human touch, that authenticity to it. That I think we're on a swing of like it's going to be a lot of trash and garbage and stuff, and then it's going to swing kind of back. Whether these few pillar platforms are going to get filled with just trash and garbage, and it's just a lot of mindless. I mean, TikTok I think is like the first step toward that, where it's just mindless consumption. But there'll still be a place for community like that.
Did you see what Fervil said?
And what was that?
So Fervil said Sniper Wolf and XQC are already as brain dead as AI. And the funny thing is, this is exactly a great analog. This is a human analog of what I'm talking about. It's like these guys, both XQC and Sniper Wolf, didn't start out as reply content creators. Right. One of them, I think, started out as a gamer. I think both of them were gamers at one point, and they just didn't really get the views. And then they saw that people were getting views from doing reaction content, so they switched to reaction content. They started getting views, and then that's all they did was reaction content. They didn't pick reaction content. It picked them because their goal was money, and that was the path to money to basically use everybody else's content against them. AI adapts that exact same strategy, right? It's like with an AI, it's like I can create a channel. Like this goes back to what you asked me earlier. You asked me, how did I get the closed captions to my stuff on YouTube, right? How did I get closed captions for 800 and some videos from YouTube downloaded to my hard drive? And I didn't have to be logged into my account. I didn't have to use YouTube API or anything. All I did was use a program called YTDLP, which is open source on GitHub. That goes and connects to YouTube, downloads the web pages as if you're watching them in the web browser. Then it goes and parses a bunch of crap out of the web browser. It can download the closed captions alone. It can download even in different formats. It can change the format of the closed captions. Then I used another program on top of that then converted it to take out all the time code and everything. So it was just raw text. And then, so I had to go through, it took like an hour. It downloaded 800 and some odd closed caption files, removed all the time indexes because I didn't need them for training the AI. And then I go to my POE bot thing here, and I start it, and I go, upload files to it, select all 800 files, click OK. It takes a while. It uploads, and then it's taken 48 hours to train it, and it looks like it just finished training. It finally answered its first question. So it goes through and uploads all this, and it's like, okay, well, how did I do that? Right? I used an open source tool from the public that went and downloaded this information, and then I fed it to the AI, and then the AI. Throughout the process, I was using the AI to debug the commands that weren't working. I was using the AI to parse things out of log files that I couldn't, easily figure out how to parse the data because the log files weren't uniform. And I'm using AI for everything at this point to do these. The only thing is, like, we're going to get to a point when AGI hits where it's like you don't have to know how to tell it to do the next step. It'll just infer it based on your goal, because you're just going to go, all I want to do, like, what is my goal? Please create me. And I swear the technology exists right now to do this. It would just be kind of slow. All I would have to do is say, I want you to create a program for me that will monitor this YouTube channel using YTDLP or whatever tech. It can figure it out on its own too. Say, I want you to just monitor this YouTube channel. Every time they release a video, I want you to download the highest quality copy of that video. I want you to dub the entire thing over in another language using a program called Whisper AI, which will take the English, the red English things, and then convert it to Spanish, or take a Spanish one, convert it to English, put the English subtitles. Then I want you to run lip to Wave to Lip, which is an AI thing that will change the way the lips move on the people in the video to match the new dialogue that's being spoken. Then I'm going to use an AI voice cloner that's going to take a real human cloned voice from Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that and make them be the voice of the person. So now their lips are moving properly to the words and the accent and everything. Then I do that, and then I reprocess the entire video, And I can even do stuff like, hey, use Stable Diffusion to just add AR elements into the background of the sets and stuff that move around with the camera or pop out of
Jazz it
place
up
and
a
stuff.
bit,
So,
yeah.
Jazz it up a bit and have it do all that. And then the person releases a video within 15 minutes of them releasing the video to their channel. I already have a better version of their video in the native spoken language that the person's specifically looking for every country in the world. And I've got a little digital robot down in the bottom that's doing the, hey, I'm a sniper robot, sniper wolf. Look what these guys are doing over here. Oh, hey, look, that guy's on a bicycle. Oh, he wrecked. Oh, yeah. And do the Christopher Walken voice. And now I don't ever have to touch that channel. That channel is just sitting there just making money hand over fist. And that person is just becoming so demotivated because every time they create a video, they get like 100 views and I get 10,000.
Yeah.
And then everybody just comes to my channel. Even though they like their content, they come to my channel because they don't have to read subtitles. So then that person's like, okay, I got to do extra work. I got to spend extra money to figure out how to, convert my subtitles and create another language. And I got to learn all these programs and stuff to do that. With AI, that's going to be just easy for everybody. So it's just going to be this arms race of you steal my channel, then I'm going to steal your channel. So you're going to have like the channel that creates the content, the reaction channel of the content.
You create it yourself.
Yeah.
Or the content creators do this stuff themselves, have it automatically go everywhere, and they've got a massive, larger audience. And so they can go to India and do a freaking comedy tour and have it all paid for. I mean, I feel like, again,
that's not a bad
as long
idea,
as you see this stuff coming, as long as you see this stuff coming, I tell everyone, I call it an AI audit. I'm like, everybody should do this. They should go and research every possible way that AI can affect anything you're doing, even if you don't think it's got anything to do with AI. Anything.
Yeah.
And then start looking at how you can use it. Because again, what you've just created is something that, yes, if you don't do this, then you are left behind. But you're smart enough to have this stuff in advance anyways. You create that. Everyone else is going to start doing it. Next thing you know.
What about the money involved, though? Like what I just described to you probably would cost $300 per video to get the CPU and the GPU time and everything to do that in a reasonably quick manner. Today it may get cheap,
amortize that across,
it's one of those things where it's like, I'd have to figure out I'd have to find the channel I want to rip off, or myself, like if I want to do it myself and beat everybody else to the punch, right? The amount of money that I would have to put on that bet, right, would be astronomical. So you'd really have to be sure that was going to pan out in the end. Otherwise, you're going to run yourself into zero really quick. So you almost need to build the popular channel first. But what I'm saying is, how do you build the popular channel when people are already grabbing and memeing on your content and doing the reply videos? And then because they have such a huge audience, everybody knows you as being on their channel, not on your own channel. Because that's the biggest complaint everybody has. Like when they go to what's that?
Would that come back to the person at all? Like, I mean, the fact that you're on like Moist Critical or something like that, would that help you in some way?
I think it would, because Moist Critical does say who he's talking about and he does give attribution and credit, but most of them don't.
Yeah.
Most of them don't even tell you who the person is because they don't want you to go see their other content, because they want you to come to them to see them riffing on other content that person makes.
I see.
So if they respond to your video and it's like, oh, this is popular, right? Like one thing I noticed was a great example is like Boogie 2988, friend of mine. He had a documentary that was made that was really racy and about his life and shit that was going on with him and all the stuff that he was dealing with in his life. And like every single person, every big commentator in the world decided to jump on that and play the drama card, right? Like we're all going to give our 2 cents on, what we think about this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you go out and look and it's like all of the people that were responding to it by just playing the video in its entirety and just being a window down in the corner, pausing and saying, oh, this is what I think about this, is what I think about this. All the big guys got 10 times more view than his documentary did. Each one of them.
Yeah.
All combined together, it was hundreds of millions of more views and money went out to other people that are just responding. And it's like, all they're doing is like trashing on him, but that gets the views, right? Because the people that go and watch, Boogie, they're going to want to see what other people are saying about him. And the thing about drama is people will respond to drama regardless of which side they're on.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that makes drama just so profitable on the internet. And nobody can figure out how to really stop it or even wants to stop it, is because if you make a video that appeals to somebody, like, I'm going to show you how to build a Honda Civic engine, that's only going to appeal to people that build Honda Civic engines, and they're going to watch it and they're going to enjoy it. And if people are a Toyota enthusiast, they don't watch your channel because they don't care. You're not trashing Toyotas. You just work on Hondas, right?
Yeah, right.
But if you're the channel where you're like, hey, we're going to rebuild a Honda engine today, fuck Toyota. Toyota's a piece of shit, and you're that guy that's known as like, and your channel's called like Toyota's a piece of shit. Then you get all the Honda viewers. They're like, oh, I love watching this content, rebuild the Honda engines. Then you get all the Toyota viewers too. They just sit in the comments heckling them like, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. And then the Honda and the Toyota guys argue in the comments, boosting the SEO for that video. So now it reaches people that don't even know what these cars are, don't even care about the engines. They just want to see the beef.
Yep.
Right. They want to see that. And a person who's really figured out how to capitalize on that really well is Leon Lush. There's a guy on YouTube called Leon Lush, and he basically just like every week he just creates a video. Like I think it's about once a week he creates a video where he goes and finds like the biggest Karen on the internet. It's like known in the news for doing the most Karen-y thing. And he just sits back with his little glass of, he does like a production, right? It's like Mystery Science Theater 3000. He'll get his little cup out and he'll put his alcohol in it and kick up his slippers and get really comfortable. He's like, all right, let's watch this Karen unfold. And he'll play like, a couple different clips from things that he picked throughout the weeks. And he's like, oh yeah, this lady got her ass handed to her. She deserved it. Oh, and the cops come in with the taser, and he does like little skits and bits on it and everything. But it's like, if you go look at his channel, it's like he gets more views than any of the viral videos that he's talking about. Like a lot of people find out about the viral video through him than they do from it just being viral and reposted around the internet. But if it's just the person posting the video themselves, not a lot of people usually find it because everybody else just rips it off because they're like, ooh, I don't want to retweet this. This is a big problem on Twitter. So people will intentionally not retweet your video. What they'll do is they'll download your video using YTDLP and then re-upload it on their own post.
Wow.
And the reason that they do this is because if you retweet somebody else's video, then that person gets the boost. And if they like or retweet it, then it goes back to your account. But if you download the video, upload it, and just copy the text and put it there, now you're the one getting all the likes. You're the one getting all the retweets, and there's no link back to the original video source. So people will come back to you to try to get more information on that subject. And so people do this all the time, and it's become just a really common practice of this massive content theft everywhere. And it's like, I don't even know how to deal with that, and it was a bit. Now here's the thing. Was it a big problem for me? Yes. Back when I was in the top 1% bucket of YouTube and I was getting 12 million views a month, SoFlo Antonio, every time I posted a video, within like 2 hours of the video being posted, SoFlo already had it uploaded with my watermark digitally removed from the video. No link to my name. He'd cut off the intro of the video where it's like, hey guys, welcome to Barnacules Nerdgasm, He'd cut that off. So it just started the video so nobody could figure out who I was. And so a huge subset of people, when I'd comment and say, hey, stop stealing my content. Why are you stealing my content? People would reply, oh my God, are you the guy in the video? Are you the guy in the video? And then I'd be like, yeah, Barnacules, I have a whole YouTube channel. Oh no, we thought that this guy knew you, or these videos were videos he got from you. It's like, no, he didn't. And I reported him thousands of times.
It doesn't require AI for this.
What's that?
So we don't need AI for this. People are doing it anyways.
They're already doing it anyways, but the problem is I think AI is going to make it so much more accessible to everybody that can do this, it's going to blow up.
It's going to flood the market with AI crap, I'm sure. And some good stuff and some bad stuff. But
it's like it used to take an asshole with money. Now it just takes an asshole.
Yeah, it's true. And it just gets cheaper and cheaper to be an asshole. I mean, it's always going to be easier to put out crap content. It's always going to be harder to put out thoughtful, well created and well researched stuff. But I wonder, the stuff that I see most successful on YouTube, and I spend a lot of time on YouTube, obviously, is stuff that relates to something in the real world. Like you can have a channel that does really, really well, and that brings in a little bit of money, great. But the reality is it's driving sales to a service or a product or even just, I guess, an actual physical product and stuff. That seems to be the best use of this stuff.
Yes.
Sponsorship
so you got to start selling
all the money
some kind of Barnacles thing.
No, that's the truth. That's the truth. And I've come to that conclusion even talking to my wife, because it's one thing I hate doing. I hate having to sell shit. Like even if it's shit that I like and that I have and that I swear by, I just hate having to push shit. But I've had to do it lately because there's just no way for me to make a living any other way. Because I used to be on YouTube and it's like if my video got 100,000 views, I could make $600 to $1,000. Now with the CPMs the way they are on YouTube, it's like 100,000 views might make me $1.30. That's not enough to like pay any bills or to do anything. So the only way to really make money, and that's why you notice, like, look at the trend that's been going on. It used to be that maybe half the videos you watched had one little ad inside of them, like today's video sponsored by World of Warcraft or whatever. That used to be the one thing that you'd see in a monetized video. Now it's not uncommon to see 2 or 3 sponsors in a 10 or 15 minute video.
Yeah.
Like no shit. You watch like Philip DeFranco, you watch like Linus Tech Tips. It's always the same. It's like today's video is in a segue to this, and today we're sponsored this, and that makes the sponsor is like go over to this. And it's like, whoa, that was 3 sponsors I counted in that video. And the reason that they have to do that is because it takes 3 sponsors now to make the same amount of money that they used to be able to make with one sponsor. And what they used to be able to make with one sponsor, they could make with just AdSense alone, so they didn't need the sponsor at all. But now it's like you have to have the sponsors. You have to have as many of them as possible. And because more people are
But
creating content, the prices go down, right? Supply and demand. It's like companies spend less on marketing because there's more people that are willing to do it for much cheaper.
Like if you, I mean, it's easy to sell something if it helps people. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you look, instead of looking at something as something that you're selling as just something that people are willing to pay for because it helps them. Like,
right.
You could literally be the go-to guy for, I don't know, for social media hacking or whatever. And then people would pay you to do that. And then you have these channels, you're doing this stuff. They see you in action anyways. And and it doesn't have to be like some kind of like serious sales funnel thing, you know?
Did say how bad I suck
feels
at it?
that way. Feels that way though.
Dude, I suck balls at this because look, I've been a NordVPN affiliate for almost 6 years now. 6 years I've had an affiliate link where like if I sell somebody on NordVPN, I get a huge amount of the subscription. It's like 70% or something they give you. It's crazy amount of commission. But the thing is I only talk about it if somebody's asking me for a VPN, and I always tell them to get your money back if it doesn't do exactly what you want. Try a couple of VPNs first because
about it if it was something that you did all the time. Like if it was something that you had if it was a service or a product or something that you were proud of, that you liked, that was cool.
I love it. I use it every single day. NordVPN, I swear by it. I can tell you a million reasons why, but I still feel obligated when I tell people to not like shove it down their throats and be like, this is just an option. This is what I use. This is why I like it. But then I look at some of these other people that are like, every video is like, oh, this is sponsored by NordVPN. If you want to support the channel, sign up for NordVPN. And they get
don't even say that.
$1,000 a month for NordVPN, and I'm getting like maybe $1,000 a year if I'm lucky.
I wonder how much like let's say I know like Critical Role. I know NordVPN is a often sponsor of the Critical Role live streams on Thursdays, right? And they do their little 30-second ad read or whatever, blah 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 blah, protect your IP address on the internet. And I imagine they have a very similar cut, right? Affiliate deal with them or whatever. But I really wondered like how much that makes a difference for somebody who like kind of like, it's never really intrusive. They have like a certain section in the beginning of their live stream where they do announcements and stuff, and like it's not like an ad in the middle of the show or anything. But like I wonder how much it makes a difference for some of those or another. You know what I mean? Like if you mentioned it at the beginning of a video, every video or whatever, versus somebody who's bigger or somebody who goes like, who just shoves that kind of stuff down a lot. I feel like sometimes there's like it feels different.
I always feel like a shill no matter how I do it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. And I guess that comes back around to like the community side of things. It's like I use
people
this.
Beg me to
I'm telling you about this because I use it.
Yeah.
Do the guys? Does every person who on the Critical Role cast actually use NordVPN? Probably not. Is their company using it? Probably not.
I do have a personal rule. I will not suggest something that I don't use myself or I don't have like knowledge and have used it and know
that's my feeling.
There is a significant shift in corporate sponsorship toward less of these mega influencers, people with like millions of followers and stuff, and more toward micro influencers, people with like 1,000 to 10,000 followers, because the level of trust isn't there anymore for the big people. If PewDiePie says, "Oh, go and drink Monster," that's going to hit different than if I say to my 25 people watching me build a computer and say, "Man, I love fucking Ghost," or whatever.
It depends on your demographic too. Demographic plays a huge part in advertising.
For
like adults are smart enough to see that shit. Kids aren't. Like if you're PewDiePie and your average audience is 13 years old and you're like, "Go buy Pewdie drink," then they're gonna be asking mom and begging mom. They're gonna see it on the shelf. "Mom, can I please?"
Absolutely.
Like, fine, just shut the fuck up.
Mr. Beast burger and stuff.
Exactly. It's like Mr. Beast burger's horrible. I had it. It's fucking terrible.
I feel like that got out of hand. A total tangent. I do think it was an interesting and a good product at first, but who was actually the company actually like behind it fucked it up. And there's a big lawsuit and stuff back and forth.
The only good product.
So it's kind of hard to
no Ghost
not
Kitchens.
really.
Ghost Kitchens.
There's Mr. Beast
your burgers
teamed up
were
with
made to Taco Bell and shit.
Yeah. The teamed up with another company to manage the Ghost Kitchens and stuff, and he actually is suing that company for like a lot because they let the product quality drop, and like it's like, bro, you're fucking up my name here, and that kind of
You're
stuff.
literally killing my audience.
Yeah.
So he does a video. He does a video of an actual Mr. Beast burger location where he funded it. He hired the people. Like it's the actual storefront, right?
Right.
All the burgers coming out look amazing.
Right.
Hand formed patties, like just mouth watering good, right? But then you see everybody posting pictures of the actual food they're getting from ordering it online with the app where it's delivered to your house, because you can't just go like there's no brick and mortars. That was the one brick and mortar. Everybody else is a ghost kitchen. And people are showing like the buns are different, the size of the patties are different, the condiments are different. Like there's no quality control at all on any of the ingredients.
I almost did it myself one time, and I looked up the address of where it was like going to be being delivered from, and it was like my local Red Robin. I was like, I would trust them to put out a burger. Like it's fucking Red Robin. But that's I feel like that got out of hand. Like he stopped looking at it and just trusted somebody with the ship and surfed. They're suing each other. They're suing each other. Like the company's suing him for defamation, and he's suing them for defamation or like ruining his brand name and stuff like that. And it's a weird back and forth. It's going to be forever. But that's whack. But I do think that the niche thing, the community building trust with a small group of people, I think the content creation thing is gonna end up being weird, very, very sticky. But I think it'll just be a shift. I think it's weird stuff though.
I need to start being honest with myself. I feel like I'm lying to myself about a lot of shit just to try to get through the day.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's like what it used to be. It's like I'm literally getting on Twitter to pick fights every single day because it's just a way to burn time. Like it's just a way to keep away from the things I'm afraid of. Yeah. Right? Out of sight, out of mind. What I really need to do is just say fuck all that and just go back to doing the things I used to do. Just turn on the camera and just do shit and let it lay where it lays. Yeah. Like that's what I used to do. And that's good.
To have fun and do the things you enjoy, and
that's the thing is like I gotta break this busted ass fucking cycle where it's like I'm afraid to advertise anything. I'm afraid to like even in products I believe in. It's like I still feel skeezy even posting. It's Christmas time. We're not making rent, and it's like digging further and further into this grave that isn't far off. I mean, I estimate we have about 2 years left before I'm absolutely a zero. So I'm like I gotta figure something out, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, why am I spending my time? Fucking arguing with all these people and stuff, just to pass time and be alive when I should be just focusing on doing shit I want to do and sharing that experience with people, because at the end of the day, the people that I care about, that's what they want to see. And I'm depriving them to serve a bunch of bullshit to people that just make me angry, that do nothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's this is exactly.
That's an ADD thing too, though.
It is 100%. And OCD, ADD, my
Yeah.
My therapist said this is
all about
the perfect combination.
Emergency.
Yeah,
Everything's an emergency mode.
Yep, everything's an emergency. Everything's a fire. You have to put it out. If you look away for more than 10 minutes, the whole world's gonna explode. And seriously, I do that. Like I'll look for my phone and it'll be upstairs. And I'm like, Xander, can you run upstairs and get my phone? Because I'm like, I have to see what's going on, because I tweeted something and I need to see if like anybody's responding and saying crazy shit or doing crazy shit or attacking me or attacking my friends or. But it's like, how often does that really happen? Not that often, but for some reason in my head, that still seems like the worst case scenario that's going to happen if I stop looking at it. It's weird.
Well, you can't win that.
Brainwashed.
It's like, it's not the truth. It's not the way.
No, I'm brainwashed.
I feel like a lot of movie stars are messed up because I think they buy the fact that the stuff you see in the magazines, the stuff you see in the movies, the stuff you see in the interviews is the reality, and it's just not.
What's the saying with drug dealers? Like, don't do your own stash or something.
Oh, that's right, man. Don't get high on your own supply, man.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Exactly what I'm doing. I'm getting high on the drama that I created.
10 crack commandments, right?
You know what? Just take Twitter off your phone. Just take it off your phone,
dude.
That's a good start.
I think I'm gonna. It was funny you said that. I think you just kind of gave me the kick in the pants to take it off of my like quick launch thing, and so I have to actually like type it in to go find it instead of just right there.
Yeah, just make it a little bit difficult, because I just think you'll find
uninstall
for the first couple of weeks. And again, I'm not great because I still go on it every so often, but Because then you have to, in order to use it, you now have to go download it again, sign back up, put your passwords in. Oh, look at you, man.
Oh, what's going on here? I clicked delete and it didn't delete it. I clicked delete and nothing happened. The app's still
It's because it was a shortcut and not the actual app. Come on now.
The shortcut.
We know what you've done on your or I know what you've done on your iPhone at least. Because I know
that was to get the Twitter icon back. This is the actual X icon.
It doesn't mean you're gonna do it. It doesn't mean you're never going to use it. It just means that it just makes it
a barrier,
little less
a barrier of thought. Like,
well, no, but if I have to go get on my computer to do it, that already like saves me a lot of mental stress when I'm out of the room, right?
Do I really want to go all the way upstairs? Do I really want to fucking?
Oh, here we go. Remove from the home screen or delete app. Delete app. Yes. Or deleting this app will also delete its data. Yes.
Not the data. Not that sweet data.
You wish it would delete the data. No way.
Now you watch me 10 times today. I'm going to pick this up and wonder where X is and have a fucking heart attack before I remember that I deleted it.
Yeah.
That's perfect. And then if you want to, you go to your computer and use it yourself. But it just takes it out of the the living room. It takes it out of your time with Xander. It takes it out of the car. All that shit.
You're right. Yeah.
Anyways,
no, you're right.
Listen to me. I should do the same.
Right. Well, and it's rough. It's rough when it's like my job too, right? But it drives me nuts too that that's
the excuse I use too, because it is kind of my job, because staying in touch with my audience and letting them know what's up so they don't get mad and leave. But it's not my job to argue with people that don't like me. That's what I spend most of my time doing.
Keep it to work hours. Treat it like a job. Okay, from 8 to 2, this is work time. And then I can sit at my computer and be on Twitter and respond to things, or take only 20 minutes. I'm going to respond to as many comments as I possibly can in 20 minutes. And that's it. Like,
I wish that worked. I
know. It's easy to say. It's hard to.
No. The reason that it doesn't work for me is a little bit different. And it's because I don't have a disconnection between work, my personal life, and my professional life, because I'm the same person in both.
Yeah.
So it's like when I'm doing work, like if I'm writing code using the AI or whatever, like that's something I also do as a hobby in my free time. So it's like I can easily just bridge those hours and keep going.
Right.
So it's almost like I have to have like a specific thing that's like, I have my social media account that just has my friends on it, and my social media account that has my followers on it. And that's one is only during this time and one is only during this time.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Like I know Jay's 2 cents at one point. He told me the way he handled it.
Caught up in the friend stuff too.
Yeah. He actually handled it by just having like certain times, like a couple times a day where it's like 10, 15 minutes, just get on there, code through, reply to a couple things and shut off, and that's it. That's
I wish I could do that. I wish I could. I don't have I'm not that good.
Same.
Not that good.
Same.
But by removing X off the phone, I think that was a good call, because now I have to physically be on the computer. And if I want to post an image, I have to record it on the phone, then use Tailscale to send it to the computer so I can attach it.
There you go. It's a pain in the ass. I'll tell you.
And I also want notifications popping up all the time going, every time I hear my phone go ding, I'm like, oh, fuck, something's dying. Oh my God, somebody hacked my YouTube channel again. You do get like,
oh God, see
like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. You just said that and I get nervous. Like I know, I get it. Look, I should probably run. It's been so much fun seeing you guys.
We missed you, bro. We missed you so much.
It's been way too long. Oh, by the way, I don't know what that generated image is that you put up. Is it a generated image of you guys?
Oh yeah, it's super fake.
Awesome.
Super
I love
it's gorgeous though, right?
I love it. It's fantastic.
I uploaded a picture of me and I uploaded a picture of Aux, and I said, these 2 pictures I uploaded to you, put one on the left, one on the right with a microphone in between, and do a logo as if it's for a podcast. And that's what it crapped out.
That's
Welcome
great.
to the world of AI.
I love it. The image generation stuff is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to throw a link to the 1440 Makers Fund, because they're doing they're doing a charity drive for like a charity stream for Hawaii, the Hawaii community.
That's just what I want to remind you to do.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll even double and triple that up in here. So if you guys got any money tilting around that you didn't already empty into my pocket to pay my rent, you can go over and give it to these people that don't need it as bad as I do.
Once you finish propelling Barnacules into a new career that isn't reliant on
once you send me an RTX 4090 graphics card, you can then go give the money to where it does the most good. That's what I always say. That's another problem I've always had with my advertising and stuff like that, is it's really hard to justify that I deserve anything when there's people that have it so much worse than me. But then I have to try to look at it this way. It's like, well, if I keep thinking that way, pretty soon I am going to be that person that needs the help.
Yeah.
I'm basically going to create a problem myself, and then somebody else is going to have to take care of me. It's like, that's not good either. So,
and here's the other thing is you're not forcing anyone to do anything. I mean, people will help you if they want to help you. Yeah. And if they don't want to, then they won't.
Right.
I was saying that, then I got to put my Tech Bandits link in too.
Put your drop it on, man. We appreciate you stopping by.
But But this is so you can all sign up for the newsletter, the email of awesomeness, just fun, crazy things that I've discovered in my week. And you'll get it in your inbox, and we can do all this stuff without all the social media stuff. But,
who are you using for your mail list? Because I've been wanting to do a mail.
Oh my
list
god,
myself.
I bounced around. I started doing
who did you
MailChimp, and I started with MailChimp, found it expensive, went to
same.
MailerLite, which I quite like, but even that starts getting expensive. Like, so I wondered about
What's the best one you
Amazon.
Found? Is MailerLite the last one you used?
MailerLite's the one I'm using right now. Yeah.
I have a question. Why the fuck can't we just do this ourselves? Why can't we just?
Well, that's it.
We have
So
like fucking gigabit
Amazon
internet connections. Oh, Amazon will?
Well, because I think Amazon has some kind of a mailer service. I don't know how to use it, but you should. If you look into it, let me know, because I don't know enough about it. The reason why you can't do it yourself is because it comes across as spam, right? There's so many spam issues that they have like checks and balances that somehow make it possible to send out 1,000 emails instead of getting banned as soon as you try to on Gmail or whatever.
Yeah, I can see that being a problem because people are just spinning up IPs and changing the IP if they could get through that barrier.
Yeah,
I guess I thought the barrier was
I think
more
MailerLite
like a
has
content
something.
thing. I guess you could just tell people though when they sign up. What if you just told people when they sign up, be like, check your spam folder, like make it something really apparent in the title, and just be like, check your spam folder so you can approve this, and then you could do it.
But I think a lot of services will just not even get it to you. Like I think
like no places, spam folder.
Yeah, someone was telling me there's some kind of a setup you can do on your mailbox to make it more likely to get through people's filters, because a lot of like my email, even with MailerLite, a lot of it ends up in spam. Like
networking guy said I can set up a mass email list using verified servers and domains. Would you please hit me up on Signal?
Yeah,
and I'll tell David everything you tell me.
Yeah, please let me know, because I would much prefer a simpler system.
I do want to do a mailing list though. That's something I even created one through. It wasn't MailChimp. It was another alternative like Blue something. And I created it, but then I got to the point where it's like, oh, this is going to cost you $20 a month. Then it'll be $60 a month. And then if 10,000 people sign up, it'll be $885,000. And I was like, I can't fucking do that.
Yeah.
But no, I would love to have a mailing list.
People.
Yep.
You can then get a sponsor or I think there's even companies that will look for placement stuff. You know, I've been listening to lots of business porn, as I call it, all the podcasts on how to make $1 billion by selling ice or whatever it is. Like I don't know why I enjoy those things. Yeah, exactly.
I got to do something. I got to figure out and find that ethical barrier of selling, making a living for my family, but still being useful to people overall. I'm never going to make everybody happy. That's the thing my therapist helped me with that I just don't have lately. I got to tell myself, you can't make everybody happy. It doesn't matter. Like you could do the most innocent thing and post a link and just say, hey, you know, my son really wants this thing for Christmas. Here's a link or whatever, because people ask for it. And you'll always get somebody that'll go on a tirade and create like a 45-minute video that, we got to take this fucking e-bagger down. Piece of shit. You know, it's like there's always those people that hate you and want to hate you, and you just got to deal with it, right?
And no matter what you do, no matter how good or bad you are, there's always someone who's going to be there to try to kick you in the teeth.
Puppet said, why don't I make an AI bot that just does my tweets for me? Oh, that'd be so rude. I'd have to make it say that it was the robot though, because I would never. I would feel so skeezy if people were like literally talking to a bot instead of me and thinking they were talking to me. I could never live with myself doing that.
Well, and they're saying that's one of their guidelines. You're supposed to qualify everything that is AI and say that it's AI now. Apparently, that's the new.
Nobody's going to do approach. All right, let's get you out of here, David. Otherwise, you're going to be here forever, bro. We got to get you out of here. Go smack Bratlin around for me, would you?
I shall indeed. It's hard though, because he's pretty much as tall as I am, if not taller at this point.
Well, that's why you throw shit and then run behind the door and slam it. You got to be clever.
Exactly.
You got to out clever.
That's how I. All right. It's Rodney so good to see you guys again. I hope we can do this again next week as well. But, I expect amazing business plans when I next chat.
Yeah. I think we need to have an offline version of this chat too, because I need somebody to talk some goddamn sense into me.
Yeah, I'll do that for sure. Yeah. I'm telling you, Bob Ross of PC, that's the way to go.
Yeah,
dude, that would do that.
I gotta dig out of my hole too a little bit.
Yeah,
because I know people have mentioned it before. I think it is a great idea, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. I just think that's because it's also the right vibe too. Then you're not competing with the all the fancy shots of computer parts and things. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, we're just making a PC here.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna sit down
All
and
right.
just watch a bunch of my old YouTube content and see if I can recapture some of whatever I used to be.
Yeah, man.
Because
There you
that
go.
was my happy.
No,
That was my
don't
happy
do
year.
that. Don't do that. That's why look back. I think that's a mistake. I think that's an.
The only reason I'd look back
because
is because it's like when I was happiest. Like I just want to see like what was the magic that made that the happy time. Like why is that so much different than today? That's what I want to know.
Huh. Well, but I think it's
But-
more the platform than the.
But maybe I would just find out that I was younger and I could stay awake longer and required less sleep, and that would suck, right? That
Well, you
doesn't do
still
me
have
any good.
hair. When I look back, I just see more and more hair as the further I go back. All right, love you guys. Talk soon.
All right, peace out, brother. We love you.
Cheers.
Take it easy.
All the best.
Like find a button. Find a button. Oh, look at them sweaty pitties. Look at them sweaty pitties.
No, a little bit, huh? A little bit. It's warm in here.
Whoa, am I seriously for the first time in history not actually sweating?
What? The AC is working overtime.
Stop taking Adderall for a week and you just fall apart.
Then will we see you gaze?
Will you see you gaze on strags near me?
on a stage on a stage near me. That dude, I do think that I gotta say.
He wants to see us get gay on stage in front of him. I mean,
hey,
what kind of money are we talking here?
$20 is $20, bruh.
Shit, I mean, I could be gay. Just there's enough zeros. I can be gay. I mean, what's a penis versus a handshake, right? Come on.
But dude, yeah, man, look, the few panels and stuff we've done at cons or just live in general. I really enjoy all this live content. I've been in my
love
own head
attention
a bit. Well, yeah, I mean that's what it all really comes down to, right? Is the attention.
I love attention. I love feeling important. I love feeling clever. Those were the things. But you know what I think is really missing? Like honestly, like if I'm being honest with myself, it's self-confidence.
Yeah.
I used to have self-confidence, like in just doodles, not arrogance, but some people might think that, but like it was self-confidence. Like I was confident and could stand behind the things that I could say and things I could do. And I had no shame over anything that I did. And I just went about my thing. And it's like, I don't know what the fuck happened. I think it was just, COVID and 3 years of falling off, health going downhill, not being able to do what I used to be able to do. I think that's just taken a lot of that self-confidence away that I got to get back. Because once you have that self-confidence, it's weird. When you have the self-confidence, you don't second guess everything.
Yeah. It's I think it's the I think also too focusing on the end product too much and not the process.
Right.
Like that's the fun
journey
part.
is important.
And I think that's why you and I are so good at live content is like it doesn't give an opportunity to overthink the end because you're just in it in the moment. And
right. This is what it is. There's no build up for what it'll become. Yeah.
That's why I get so scared. I get so nervous trying to do pre-recorded content, like for work or whatever.
Too.
And like I get like a weird like tight pit in my gut. Like, oh man, I'm gonna screw up. And it doesn't matter because like I can just re-record it. Like, why does it? But there's never an ounce of nervousness for live content. It's just pure stream of consciousness. I don't have to. It's almost thoughtless in a sense. And don't apologize. No worries. I speak fluent typo. It's you, and your English is totally fine.
Oh no, we were just making. You gave us an opportunity to make a gay joke, and that was fun. So don't. Oh man. That.
And see, so Ethan's dead. Like I don't ever watch back my live streams in the past, or even with Jerry here and stuff. I don't ever watch it back, and not out of some sort of like, oh, I can't watch it, or I don't want to, or anything like that. It never occurs to me. What's done is done, and I go on to the next one. And yeah,
that really is the difference. The difference between live content and edited content is live content is whatever it is in the moment. There's no changing it, and you know that in your head consciously. Yeah. So you just keep going. And when you're doing video content, like I'll notice that this will be the difference. I'll be telling you guys about this. Will be a phone. Hey guys, what's up today? I'm going to tell you about this cool cell phone I have. I think it's one of those. I think it's an iPhone. Yeah, I don't know. It's got the thing. Hey, do you guys know what this is here in chat? Do you know what? Oh no, it's the iPhone 11. That's what it is. You just keep going. You just keep going. But if it's a recording in the camera, you're like, here, I'll give you guys the demo. No, it's like this. Look, it's just like this. You're like making sure everything's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, take one. Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome today to Barnacules Nerdgasm. We're going to be reviewing the iPhone 10.
Oh, fuck.
Welcome to Barnacules Nerdgasm. Today we're going to be reviewing the iPhone 10s. And yeah, this is the 64. No, it's the 32 gig model. Fuck.
Yep.
Hey guys, what's good?
It's funny. That's exactly how it goes. Even I'm just
Every
even like
time. Even to
reading
this
an
day.
article for work, and it's
Yep.
the same, exactly like that. Exactly like that.
And
And
then when
how
you're
do I make
editing-
it sound legit without it sounding like I'm reading? Because
Yep.
that's a whole thing. Ugh.
You know why I do the clap?
The audio.
Because in editing, I literally just go, I know that my intro was longer than 2 seconds, so I just cut out all the 2-second ones. So I don't even have to watch them back because it's too
Yep.
awkward. You know? But that's how it is. And I've had no shit. I've had videos. If you guys ever watch my Bitcoin video where I do a one single take, no jump cut explanation of Bitcoin for 20 minutes.
No.
I shot that
Wow.
video over 140 takes to get that.
Get
It
out.
took me two days and 140 takes over about 9 hours I spent in front of the camera
Crazy. I couldn't
to
do
get
it.
that 120-minute cut. It still wasn't perfect. There's still tons of errors and mistakes in it, but to get one that I was like, that I could make it to the end without pausing and freezing and looking at the camera like a deer in the headlights, forcing me to start over. And I've had times where I've come up here and spent 4 hours just doing an intro and couldn't even get 45 seconds into the video after like 100 takes, and I had to just walk away.
Yep.
Because I'd be sitting and be like, hey, what's up, guys? Today's Barnacules Nerdgasm. And I just could not get it. Just didn't feel right. The inflection wasn't right. Something felt off.
Yep.
And I couldn't say the product name right. And then I kept saying the product name wrong. And then I didn't have confidence. And then when I did say it right, I'd still stop and retake because I'd be like, was that really right? Because I was so used to it being wrong. And you get into your head, but if it's a live performance, you just keep on pressing on.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, hey, guys, we're going to review on the phone. Oh, hey, what's that thing on your desk? You just stop what you're doing. Oh, you mean this thing right here? Oh, yeah, no, this is like a little gold thing. Isn't that cool? Oh, here. Oh, yeah, we're talking about the phone. That's right. Here, let's go back to that.
Yep.
And it's just one stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
And I love that.
The best thing is then I don't like the editing part. So like for me, the best thing would be to then have somebody come back and take that live content and chop it up into something and put it together into something a little more consumable after the fact.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Because I'll tell you what the thing I love about editing, and again, I agree with you, editing can be arduous and it can get to the point where it's like no longer fun.
Yeah, I hate that.
But the thing that I've always liked about editing is if you watch my videos have a special, like, shitty editing style that I invented all myself. Like that's one, and anytime I try to change it or I do professional editing or everybody just fucking rabbles in the comments, stop. And my editing is literally super fast paced. I cut off portions of words. I just crank up the volume in random places. I just add effects because I'm getting bored with my ADHD, and I'll just put random spins and punches and noises and shit in. And when you watch it back, you're like, it could be the most uninteresting content. Like somebody said, one of my most entertaining videos that I ever did was setting up the inflatable hot tub in my backyard.
Oh yeah.
And the video went viral. I want to say it got like 1 million views or something like that. Me setting up this like Black Friday inflatable, hot tub. Let's see, Barnacules inflatable hot tub. Let's see where she's sitting at today. 1.5 million views.
Nice.
It's literally my third most popular video I ever made 6 years ago. Cheap portable 4-person hot tub, $650 setup, review, and backyard theater. And it's literally just it. Oh, you guys probably hold on, I don't know if you can hear it. Let me turn it up here. Let's see. Can I?
They can probably hear it. I
they
don't hear the audio back.
You're not going to hear it, but it's basically me starting off with like a vlog style video, but then I'm in my backyard and then it's just 5 million jump cuts of me just pulling shit out of boxes, kicking stuff, knocking shit over, yanking on cables, cussing, almost falling into the thing, calling my neighbors to help me because I can't do it myself. And it's basically just, a fucking hour or a 20-minute video of fast-paced jump cuts of my neighbors like trying to help me as much as they can. And it ends with me and my family sitting in a hot tub watching a Jay's 2 cents video on my fence. And we call it Jay's 2 cents on a fence. We coined that term. and that's the whole video. And it's like, and people just said they loved it because it was so fucking random.
Yeah.
And it was just so
man.
Like people that didn't even want a hot tub just liked it because it was so random.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with like my drone reviews. My old drone review videos would be like, hey, welcome to Dirtfish. Today we're going to review a drone. Fucking rally car like rips up next to you and like spins into the shot or whatever. Because we talked about it earlier, and it almost hit the cameraman. One of the cameramen fell over, and that was the take we kept of the cameraman actually thinking we were going to hit him with the car, and he actually fell over backwards and tried to save the camera. So it's like, hey guys, welcome to Dirtfish, and I pull in and drift sideways, and you just see the cameraman eat shit, and I'm like, are you okay? And that's the intro.
Nice.
And that's
nice.
that's
good.
The whole rest of
that's
the video.
Good.
The whole rest of the video is like that. And people love that shit. And I loved it too. That's the thing is like I enjoyed watching the edited video back. I didn't enjoy making the video because that having to watch yourself over and over again to tune things.
So boring.
That gets annoying and I don't like it. Yeah, but when you get to the very end, I remember my first thing I did, every video that I published from 2018 and back, when I finished an edit, the very first thing I did while I was uploading to YouTube is go downstairs and play it on the TV for my family.
Oh, neat.
We would all, unless it was like something that was a little bit more of a vulgar nature, Xander wouldn't be there. But I'd always go down and be like, show, because I'd watch my family and I'd see them and they'd smile and they'd laugh because the comedy was like my style of just super fast paced, overly ADHD, jumping all over the place. And my favorite comments I always saw in my videos was, I don't know what you're talking about, but it sure is interesting the way you're talking about it. And I was like, and I love that. I love that people would just watch me because they just thought that my mannerisms were funny and the way I talked about things were funny, right? It wasn't even about the content. They're like, I don't know how to program a computer, but the way that you talk about it, like, a fucking redneck trying to figure out how to put a fly, learn to fly fish. It's just so unorthodox. You're like, that's what makes it funny. That's what makes it interesting. And I'd love to get back there. I mean, you can probably tell I'm excited even talking about it, right?
Yeah,
It's like, this is the true passion, but the only way that it works is when you have the self-confidence to make an edit and own it. Like you have to be able to jump cut and say, I'm not going to spend 45 minutes trying to make this perfect. The whole goal is for it to be imperfect, and that's what makes it funny, and just do it. I almost really, what I should do is I should just take an old video. I should just pick a random old video that did horribly on YouTube. That's like just one of my worst, laziest edits ever, and just take it in and do a fast-paced 5-minute YouTube short or whatever, where I just jump cut the shit out of it with effects and dings and punch zooms and just make it the most ridiculous fucking thing where it's just a shadow of the original video and just see what it does. Yeah. Because that would be enjoyable. That would be enjoyable. Oh man. So hey, why don't you tell us a little bit about your Mexico vacation, sir?
Oh, that's okay.
You spent 2 weeks down there. Oh,
no, just one. It was just the one. Well, it didn't go the way it was supposed to. It was supposed to be like a family trip and stuff, and
I'm sorry.
And my mom's kind of sick right now, and yeah, that's kind of sad. I don't want to go into
I didn't know she was.
No, that's okay.
Going.
Yeah.
My bad.
So they didn't get. It was supposed to be, my parents and stuff, and Lisa's parents and brother and stuff and all that, and they didn't. And I mean, it didn't go the way planned, but it was still a good time. I can't avoid that. Really, it's fucking tropics and stuff. It's gorgeous. Still had a good time. Oh, I got a new tattoo.
Let's see it. A knife? Oh, is that a cloud sword?
Yeah, it's the Buster sword.
Nice, Cloudbuster.
Yeah.
Woo! From Final Fantasy.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, Final Fantasy 7.
What made you pick that?
I've had in mind to do like on my arm the Buster sword, but I was like, one, we didn't have a lot of time, and that's like a huge commitment. And I'd still want to try and find either an artist, either a tattoo artist to put together like more of like a half sleeve. That's a very, I don't want to just start adding a bunch of random stuff, as much as I just did add one more kind of random thing. I do want my whole right arm to be sort of thematic, different video games and influences and stuff that are me, right? All the cool nerdy shit, Star Wars and Star Trek, and maybe pick 5 or 6 video games that really mean a lot to me, that kind of stuff. But I want it to be cohesive. I don't want it to just be a bunch of random splitty splatty stuff all over. For sure. And so a combination of cost. So this only cost me I think like $80 in Mexico. So that was pretty decent.
You got a tattoo for only $80?
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
It's cheap. I paid like $280 or whatever.
You can't quite tell. There's a little bit of color to it, but yeah, it was pretty decent. Took him like 45 minutes, less than that even.
Is it fully healed now, or is it still got some healing?
It's still got a little bit of I don't want to say scabbing, but I guess that's kind of technically what's happened. But maybe another couple days or so to be 100%.
Valiant Brand said, I love tattoos on other people, just never had it had something so important to ink on.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. I don't know.
I'm afraid of needles. I'm just afraid of needles. So for me, a tattoo would be cruel punishment.
I don't know. I think some people get a little hung up on the whole, what does the tattoo mean? Oh, what is that? And it's like, it can just be decoration. Like, that's okay too. Your body is a temple, right? So you can decorate it how you like. It doesn't have to necessarily mean anything. It can just be cool. It can just look neat or be something,
If I got a tattoo, it'd have to be some kind of hidden.
Like this one's not a good tattoo. Like, not.
I like it.
Objectively, it's the guy was working off of like a 32 by 32 pixel thing on a Nintendo DS 20 years ago kind of thing. But
People know what it looks like, though.
Yeah,
Like,
they know what it
it's
is and all that stuff,
identifiable.
and in a way, it's kind of like a remembrance of the time, but but also it's like it's my extra life. Video games are still like a big part of my life. It is my extra life, in a metaphorical and like the literal representation sense of it too, right? But I don't get like a deep meaning out of it or anything like that. It's mildly representative of my personality and who I am and what I enjoy.
For my personality, it would have to be something like hidden so that I could like spring it on someone.
Yeah.
But also like wildly inappropriate and something that like nobody else would do.
Right.
But it literally it'd have to be like, I don't know, like painting like doing a starfish on my butthole or something like that with like a sign above it. That's
funny.
like point towards toilet or point away from face.
Exit only.
Like exit only. or like tattoo like like a guy hanging on for his life, like next to some hairs, like your butt hairs come out. Yeah, like he's blowing in the wind. Oh, that would be hilarious. Hanging on to two of the wrinkles on your butt.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it'd be funny.
Graham, just
Oh
the
my
two,
God.
just the two, the one up on my shoulder and then this new one on my hand. Yeah, and then the other side I have a whole different theme and ideas for. But that's gonna be a job. I want to do a lot of research and stuff for my left arm. That's something else entirely.
Are you gonna do a sleeve?
Maybe.
I think
like it's
sleeves
a
are pretty
very
awesome,
scattered kind of concept at the moment. And again, I'd want it to be somewhat cohesive, but the different pieces of it are very disparate. So I think it might end up being a little more deliberately chaotic on the left side. Yeah. Because it'd be a lot of different symbols, and from a lot of different places, and stuff like that. So it might end up being a lot like the Grail Diary, kind of almost. That's a kind of a weird example, but just the way that it's like a mishmash of a lot of different influences and things.
What about, I got an idea for a tattoo. What about like get a lattice pattern, like a diamond pattern, and have that like tattooed around your penis so that when it's shriveled up, it looks like a bunch of lines that would expand like a slinky, like a slinky. A slinky.
Chinese finger trap kind
of. Dude, get a slinky tattoo so when it's like fully compressed, it looks like a solid slinky, and then as it extends, it like you can see the rings.
That'd be kind of funny, actually. That would hurt so bad. I think that would hurt a lot, though. I don't think I could sit still for that.
No. I think after that, you're probably not going to want to use it for anything anymore. Yeah. You're gonna be like, well, that was a one and done.
Yeah.
No, I did. My dad had a friend growing up, and I'm traumatized from this, so I'll tell you the story. He had a buddy from the Navy. And I'm trying to remember his name. It was like Greg, not Greg. Anyways, his name is irrelevant.
It's Greg now.
He unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago, sadly. But I remember when I was like, God, I couldn't have been 13 years old. My dad is sitting at the coffee table talking to his buddy. Yeah, I remember that one time we were in Taiwan or whatever, and you got that Mr. Wiggly tattoo. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to talk about that no more or whatever. And he's like, yeah, can you believe my buddy or you got a tattoo on his dingus or whatever? And no shit, he stands up. I'm a 13-year-old boy, by the way, right? He stands up and literally whips out his weenie, and he's got a tattoo that's it's of a blimp. It's like a little yellow blimp, and it says Mr. Wiggly on the side of it.
That's crazy, man.
And I laughed so hard. I was like, I laughed so freaking hard because one, I'm like, in today's climate, that dude's going to jail instantly. It's like you just exposed yourself to a minor in front of his dad. Because I didn't believe him. I thought he was joking. So he's like, and they were drunk. So he's like, he gets up and goes. I was like, are you serious? But it was super faded. So he had this tattoo for like ever. Like he must have got this tattoo like 30 or 40 years ago. And I'm like, but the thing is like, how did they do that? Like, there's no way they could have tattooed that limp. Right. So, like, did they literally have to like give him a Viagra or something back then and like work really fast or do it in multiple sessions? Because otherwise, there's no way you'd get that to look right when it was stretched out. Like, there's no freaking way.
Yeah.
So, but they managed to do it. It was clearly a blimp that said Mr. Wiggly on the side of it.
Weird.
And I don't know if it was on the other side. I think it was only on one side, but I could only see one side. And I was like,
huh,
fucker did it. He actually did it. Put his money where his mouth was. But I was like, my God, how drunk are you to go into a tattoo parlor and be like, yeah, I want Mr. Wiggly tattooed on my genitals. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, it seems like, and what's even worse is the dude was like, "Yes, I will do that." You know, it's like because
Right.
if you've ever been to a tattoo parlor, I've been to a couple. Even though I've had tattoos, I've had other people get tattoos, and I've been with them. As a matter of fact, my logo's even tattooed on somebody.
Yeah.
My buddy Caleb has my old school Barnacules Nerdgasm tattoo. And when I was in there, they always ask you multiple times, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Making sure.
Oh, yeah.
Are you drunk? Are you under the influence of drugs? They give you time. Like, we're not going to start tattooing for 15 minutes. Look around or whatever. Let us know if you change your mind. They give you like every possible chance you can think of to get out of it because they don't want any liability.
Yep.
And so it's just the fact that this dude went into a place and was like, "I want a tattoo on the side of my weenie," and he walked out with a tattoo on the side of his weenie. Like, so many things went wrong for that to happen because most tattoo parlors would immediately tell you no. As a matter of fact, the tattoo parlor we went to, they even said they would not tattoo genitalia. Like, we even asked them because we were trying to see, like, "Hey, what kind of tattoos have you guys done?" They said they tattoo around genitalia, but not on genitalia. Like, they wouldn't do it like on the scrotum or on the shaft.
I can see where that might be a little different in a different country, you know?
It's true. I mean, in Taiwan, they probably do. Yeah,
man. Like,
crazy,
I don't
weird
know
stuff
that they
as a
question it
tattoo.
much. Whatever you want, buddy. If you pay for it, sure. Why not?
I mean, what am I talking about? There's cultures like in India and stuff where they stick like sticks and shit through there, right?
Yeah.
And like tie ropes onto it and hang from it and stuff. So yeah. I guess a tattoo would be more. Wait, Las Vegas? Are you drunk? Yes, good. Buzz.
All right.
Let's go, man. Tat her up.
Yeah, there's like a tattoo place in the Venetian that has like a table for you to put your drinks down on to like while you go in there. So like, I don't know that they care if you're drunk or not.
Nope, I literally saw a tattoo artist working right next to the aqua massage tables.
Yeah,
like in the middle of the mall. Like, a dude had his tattoo like chair, he had his paints and everything, and he set up like he put a little roped off a little area so that you couldn't come within the sanitized area. But it's like, yeah, people just walking by on both sides while you're just getting tatted up right there. I was like, dude, that's crazy. What I hate about that though is if you've ever been to Las Vegas, like every time you sit down in a place where they have you incapacitated, within like 3 seconds, some timeshare person comes around the corner and they've got you in a place where you can't like not listen to them.
Yeah, here's a bunch of coupons and stuff.
Oh God, it annoyed me so bad. Like one of my worst experiences in Las Vegas, and I got mad. I literally made the guy get me out of the machine. Like I was like, "I'll break your machine." I started kicking it from the inside, and my wife's sitting there like, "Oh, this is awkward." They put me inside of the those aqua massage machines where they like close it up and like shoots like those. Dude, they feel great, man. It's like basically think of like a thick rubber blanket over your back and then a high power pressure washer just like pummeling it. So it just feels like it looks blasted. So cool. It's so, and it goes so fast. Like, it can do percussion like way faster than any motor could.
Yeah.
And so they stick you in this thing, but once you're in it and it's closed, you're like locked in, right? You're not going anywhere until they let you out. So I get into this thing because it was really cheap. Every other place was charging like $40. This was like $20 for like a half an hour or something. Yeah. So I go get into it. They lock me in. They turn the machine on. And no shit, I'm not even in there for like a couple of seconds. And a person who was standing there that I didn't know was associated with these people just starts walking over. And they walk, "Hey, how you doing today?" or whatever. And I'm just sitting there getting my massage. "Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Hey, what's up? What's going on?" "Oh, I figure, you're just sitting here getting your massage or whatever. Hey, I got something I want to tell you about. You're going to think's really important." I was like, "No, I'm not interested," because I knew exactly where it was going, right? I'm like, "I'm not interested." "Oh, well, just hear me out. Just hear me out. You just enjoy your massage. You don't have to say nothing."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, we got this thing going on downtown. If you just come and watch like a half an hour seminar after this, I'll drive you right there myself. And you'll get a free timeshare and come back here another vacation. You'll even get a voucher for like 10 more of these massages for free that you paid like, this amount of money for." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not really interested. I'm not planning on coming back to Vegas. This is just a one and done kind of thing. Hey, you have yourself a nice day," or whatever. Nope. Still doesn't leave. Just keeps on talking. Like, I'm not there. No. Hey, we're going to go. And then he starts saying stuff like past tense. Like, I already agreed to it. "Yeah. Hey, when you're done with your massage, we'll run right over. I got a limo waiting right outside and we'll head on over to that timeshare." And I'm like, "No, dude." I was like, "Dude, my wife's right there. We're not going there. Dude, don't worry. I'll bring you right back. If you don't like it in 10 seconds, I'll drive right back. We'll bring you right back. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I got you taken care of." I was like, "Let me out of this massager right now." I was like, "Get me the fuck out of this thing." So I was like, "You get me the fuck out of this thing," because my arms were restrained in it too.
Right. Yeah,
and so I started. They're like, no. Hey, you got to let the cycle complete or whatever. And I was like, "Get the fuck out of my face. I don't want to hear your timeshare bullshit anymore." And he's like, "Whoa, dude, you don't have to be like that. You don't have to be an asshole," because he's trying to play the whole reverse thing, So I'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. Treat me like this just because I'm just trying to do my job and I'm trying to help you." And you're trying, he tried to pull that shit, and I was like, "Get me the fuck out of here right now." So I started kicking the machine from the inside as hard as I could, trying to damage it.
Hey.
And so they went over and opened it up and let me out of the machine. And when I got out of the machine, as soon as I got out of the machine, that guy like ran off. Like he's like, I'm out of here, woo, because I was like fixing to kick his ass. I was a lot bigger than he was too.
Thank you, AC's drafting for $20.
Dude, thank you. Hell yeah. Biggest tip of the day. Thank you. We appreciate those super chats. We really do. Your networking guy said in Japan, if you have tattoos, you will be banned from public bathhouses, pools, and most beaches. People still believe tattoos mean yakuza. Yep.
Oh, okay. I guess
yeah, it's actually so I found out that that's not true across all of Japan. Usually it's in the major cities and a couple of the small ones. There are still places where they do allow some tattoos in the bathhouses.
Well, they're gonna have to make some changes because man, they need people.
The population's getting too old.
All of them. All of it. Yeah.
Japan's reproduction rate, like every time they have kids, the kids end up getting educated and leave and go to another country. Like it's the oldest population in the world. Like Japan, like once all the old people die in like the next 20 years, they're not going to have enough people to even maintain the country unless they start importing young people and start granting visas, which is what they're going to have to do. So yeah, Japan's about to get cultured out of the picture, unfortunately, by their own doing. But just too little, too late. But Japan is a beautiful place. I mean, I would love to visit there. Their car culture is pretty awesome. I'm a big JDM guy.
Yeah, fucking Bozozuko.
But yeah, the Bozozuko with the big huge exhaust sticking up like 20 feet in there. I love it. I love it, dude. Sounded like the rattly ass can you've ever seen in your life. No, but no, those guys are there. It's like if you see people missing fingers, that's also considered like yakuza because you're supposed to cut off from the knuckle down or whatever, and you're supposed to do it yourself. But apparently they became pussies.
Style.
Yep. Yikes. It's like every time you commit a crime, you're supposed to do it yourself. But apparently there's a lot of guys that can't do it themselves, so they have a person do it, and they put a knife on your finger and they hit it with a mallet, and it just chops it off right at the bone.
Jeez.
And then they give you a little napkin and you have to hold it and suck it up. So if you see a dude missing like 3 fingers, that is a bad mobster. Like that dude sucks at his job. He's terrible. like the more fingers that are missing, that's like, yeah, if that guy walks in asking for a position in the mob, he's the janitor at that point, right?
It's like cyclical, man. Like eventually you're just gonna keep screwing up because like I can't grab stuff.
But what sucks is people that have missing fingers because they legitimately got them cut off in a bandsaw or something like that.
Yeah.
People still look at them and think they're yakuza unless they immediately tell them, "Oh no, it was a bandsaw accident." Like they'll just make that assume, which is kind of terrible. Yeah. So that network guy said, "I'm huge in Japanese women." Oh, you don't say.
I bet. Yeah, me too.
You don't say. From all the pictures that I've seen on Signal, I would have never guessed. Would have never in a million years guessed that you were into Japanese women. Couldn't have guessed that for $1 million, bro.
Dude, I bet Graham just sees like a sea of black hair when Graham's in Japan.
Graham just keeps feeling like heads knocking into his shins.
Yeah,
he feels things bumping into his shins, and it's like people's faces.
Watch it, Kobe.
Oh God, ow. No, I did watch. What was it? Shaquille O'Neal. Did you see the video from like the 90s? It's like Shaquille O'Neal goes to Japan for like a friendly game, like one of those away games where, for like, I don't know if it was like Olympics or what they were doing, but he goes over there and he stands up and they got a picture of him standing in the Coliseum or whatever with everybody out. All the Japanese people are out on the basketball court. And he's like standing up and it's like they all come up to his waist. He just looks like he's like you know how you always see the teacher and like all the toddlers on a field trip.
Yeah,
that's what he looked like. He looked like he was all these kids were with him and he was like leading them around. They were all adults. Graham's like, I am Groot. All right, bro. Well, it's about 2. I should probably get you out of here.
We had a good one. Yeah,
we did. I had a blast today. It's good to get back to this. I've had a really bad week, so I'm hoping that I can get back to some form of normalcy. Yeah, dude. We gotta. Hey, David got me to delete X off my phone. That's more than what's happened in a very long time. So
yeah.
Now we just got to delete half the other apps on that phone. So every time I pick it up, I'm like, oh yeah, all I can do is talk to individuals that I actually like. And
every once in a while, it's like, man, I just go and boop, do a factory reset.
Yeah, like, I think I'm giving X too much credit, too much time. I think in my head, I think that somehow it's going to change, and it's not. It's just going to keep getting worse. So what I really need to do is just focus my time directly on the people I care the most. Like I should really be on Patreon more than anything else.
Yeah, man.
I've neglected my patrons so hard, and those are the people that like actually take care of me and actually give a shit about me and what's going on. It's like, why am I putting my energy where the angry people are when I can be putting my energy where the people that like legitimately love what I do are?
That's it.
I'm fucking railroading myself, and I need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna walk away with that today. So So I got a pocket full of Adderall now and a new mission. So we'll see how things start tomorrow. Woo woo!
All right.
All right, brother. Well, you take it easy. It was awesome hanging out with you. I hope things get better for you. If you want to play some games too, also hit me up if you want to play. We've been playing Nintendo emulator and Switch emulator and playing like Nintendo Super Mario Wanderer and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
And even like Minecraft and shit. I've got a bunch of stuff installed now. So if you ever want to just like throw on a headset and just chat it up and do stupid shit, not even streaming, I'm down. Like just hit me up.
Will do. All right.
All right. Peace out, brother.
Bye.
Later. Hey, and the rest of you guys, thank you for hanging out with us on Tech Top. I hope you guys enjoyed the new thumbnail. That was AI generated, just like we will probably be one day. Hopefully I'm gonna stream. I might stream again later tonight. I'm gonna try to sleep for a couple more hours because I only slept for about 2.5 hours before the stream. So I'm gonna get some rest, wake up tonight. I might stream over on Twitch, and if I do, we're gonna play around with Barnabot, trained on all of the closed captions from every video I've ever made. That should be interesting to ask old me some questions.
Right on.
All right, guys, take it easy. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for all the support. We'll catch you later next time. Peace out. Is it peace outing yet? I don't know what I'm doing. What do I got to do to close this thing? Okay, hold on here. Control, kill that. Kill this. Nope, still alive. Hey guys, this isn't awkward at all. Hello, I am still here. Might as well switch it over to solo mode. Oh, what the hell? Might as well just stream for another couple of hours while we're here, right? AC's drafting. Thank you for the $20. I appreciate it. I am going to get some rest because I am stupid tired. But hey, I just deleted X off my phone, and I probably do about half of my X posting from my phone. So that's actually going to be a big step forward. So I think my goal is I'm gonna go get some rest. I'm gonna clear my mind, and then I'm gonna think about reapproaching this in a way where I don't go and just shit post when I panic. I actually go use that energy for something a little bit more constructive, or at least if I'm gonna panic, I might as well have some fun, right? Like instead of when I panic, making myself feel worse and doing the things that make myself worse, maybe do something that makes me feel better. All right, so at least I've got some things to think about as I walk away from today's show, and you know what? That's always great. Go hit the hot tub. That's a good idea. I'm gonna do. You know what? That's what I should do tonight. Before I do a stream on Twitch, before I do anything, I think I owe the patrons. an update, a very long overdue update. So maybe I'll charge up the phone, take a nap, and then go jump in the hot tub tonight and do a nice big old fat jitter for y'all. I think I'll make that the goal. So as long as I wake up later and I'm not feeling absolutely like crap, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right. Well, I love your guys' faces. As for the rest of you, well, I would say come contact me on X, but I'm only going to be on there when I'm on the computer upstairs now and no longer on the phone. So if you want to get a hold of me, probably the best way to do it now is either through Patreon DM or Discord. Those will probably be the best ways. And I'm going to work on trying to get a email list up and going. I'll talk to you about that, PhysX, about, seeing if we can set up some kind of a mailing list where, we can send out like a weekly mailing letter to people that want to sign up for it and create like a sign up form or something. I think that'd be great because I want to do something where there's no interruption. No algorithm gets to decide whether you see it or not. It's like people that sign up that proactively want it, they can just get it and it'll come to them. And then they're not missing out on stuff. And I want to be able to put tech tips in there. I want to be able to put tutorials in there. I want to share programs I'm working on. That's a way better format to do that than to just shit post on Twitter where the algorithm shuts me down and makes sure like the least amount of my audience can see it as humanly possible, and where Elon has already decided my reputation is so low that not even my followers get to see what I have to say except for on special occasions. Eric G, thank you for the $5, man. It's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you. Thank you for hooking me up on the way out. I appreciate all your guys' support. I'm scared to death of this Christmas, but I want to say I already appreciate you guys what you did. The last Twitch stream I did last week where you guys raised the money for the Quest 3 I shouldn't say that loud. Quest 3 for my son for Christmas. He's going to absolutely shit a brick. I didn't realize how bad his Quest 2 was. Like I was going to take the Quest 2 and give it to my wife as like the hand-me-down so she could play VR with us once he gets his Quest 3. His controllers are fucked. Like I had to set the dead zone to 90% just so that it doesn't just randomly shake and drift around everywhere. Like the controllers are so messed up. Like one of them won't even go left unless you bang it 2 or 3 times, and then it'll go left and then it won't stop. So I tried cleaning it out with alcohol. I tried blowing it out with compressed air. It didn't do anything. So I need to look online and see what I need to do to take the controller apart and see if I can like service it from the inside and get a better result, or if there's a rebuild kit I can get to rebuild the Joy-Cons or put in new potentiometers or Hall effect sensors, whatever it uses. Because everything else seems to work okay. It's just the sticks don't work, and it's really bad on the left hand because that's the one that you use most for mobility. So I gotta figure it out. Carl Travis said, I see most of what you post on Twitter, or I did when I used it more. Yeah, that was probably a while back. Or you interacted with me a lot. Because if you didn't interact with me a lot and you were just a lurker, my content tend to get hit a lot. Because I even have an alt account that I look at my primary account through, just so that I can see how it got ranked and what the visibility is. And a lot of my tweets weren't making it through most of the time. All right, I am super duper tired. I didn't realize I was so tired. All right, guys, I will catch you guys later. And so goals are get off here, take a nap, and try to do a patron live stream tonight, and try to keep this epiphany going and seeing if we can build on the getting away from Twitter a little bit more into doing something that's a little bit more productive instead of just running full force into the black hole, which is what I've been doing. All right, guys, I love your faces. Thank you for everything, and I'll catch you later.